Hey, Christy, how you doing? I'm doing great so far. I'm having a great day. Did you have a great birthday? You must have a great birthday for Frank Down.
I'm Frankie McDonald, and you're watching SimpCast, starring Chrissie Mayr.
He dabbles in a little bit of everything. Me and you dabble in guitar. He dabbles in fucking everything.
You're a dabbler?
I'm a dabbler.
Dabble?
Yeah, shout out to the Gurr family, by the way.
What, Tom Segura?
No, the Gurr family.
Oh.
Yeah, Nicholas Gurr.
Yeah.
I don't know that person. I'm friends with him though. I have a friend. I have one friend.
I don't know if this is real, but thanks for the $10, Sound Horizons. Could you shout out to my friend Nick Gurr? Oh, okay. You got me. He's a huge fan of yours since the Stern days. Nicholas Gurr. Yeah.
Sexism in gaming.
I have a feeling that this outfit's going to be my favorite and a definite repeat during the winter.
So I guess we're not doing, wow, how the hell do let me see something.
You need a light.
Yeah, that makes it worse. Wow, this camera's even worse.
It doesn't matter. You need a light.
Oh, this camera's even worse. All right.
It's not the camera.
Figure it out. The thing is,
cameras don't emit light. You need a light.
The thing is that I
need a light. You need to buy a light.
Yeah, this is way worse than the other camera.
Right, because you need a light.
Damn it. It's bothersome. Because what I want to do is I want a camera that can light up my pretty face.
Cameras don't light.
Also get the glorious sunrise behind me. So
how are you in any kind of broadcasting for all these years?
We'll go back to the drawing board again. We're wrapping up anyway, so I guess we'll just end this in silhouette mode. Let's just call it silhouette mode. The silhouette filter. All right. Yeah, I'm distracted by the camera. Camera's broken.
There's nothing to do with
it. Got worse.
Forget it.
Because I went and got a cup of coffee. So why don't we just wrap up?
Welcome to SimpCast. Oh, the shelf on the elf moved again. It's the miracle of Christmas. It is Sunday, December 4th. Thank you for joining us for the holiday. It's always going to be a holiday SimpCast. These December SimpCasts are going to have some holiday flavor to them. But before I bring in all of our glorious, gorgeous, beautiful guests. I want to do a quick shout out to our sponsor, without which we would not be able to do this. Let's pick some free music that won't get me struck for anything. Oh, what's that? It's the holiday season and you're depressed as fuck and anxious and your family's giving you a hard time. Or maybe it's your damn kids. They're stressing you out. Maybe it's inflation. Maybe it's Joe Biden. Maybe you're like, wow, don't have any money for presents. I'll just tell everyone it's inflation. Well, guess what? Cushy Dreams is here to help. Cushy Dreams is #1 for smokable CBD flower and Delta 9. Wow, this song is insane. This song is too much. Okay. You know how Cushy Dreams, it helps you with sleep, relaxation, feeling good, and more. They do these wonderful pre-rolls in different blends like relax, create, hustle, peace, energy, dream. So whatever you want to do with your day, Cushy Dreams has you covered. And now it's very exciting because now they have THC gummies. Not for your kids. These are adult gummies. They help you relax. They light up your brain like a Christmas tree. They make you feel giggly, warm, and fuzzy inside. That's it. That's right. They've done it. Cushy Dreams now has Delta 9 THC gummies. The real deal, OG THC. It ships legally to you. Each gummy contains 10 milligrams of THC, and they come in 4 euphoric flavors like strawberry, sour watermelon, green apple, and tangerine. Go to cushydreams.com right now, KUSHY, dreams.com. At the checkout, use promo code CMP to get 20% off your next order. Good for your first order, second order, etc. Get your gummies today with promo code CMP. Get your 20% off. Get yourself a little something for the holidays. Help yourself relax, deal with all this holiday craziness, help you deal with whatever Kanye West is planning next. And go to cushydreams.com, boys and girls. All right. That was good. I guess I'm okay at ad reads. I got a couple of stand-up dates before the end of the year. I'm just going to bring up my schedule really quickly. It's not on my calendar yet, but I will be in New York City December 29th at Stand Up New York. We're doing a show there for my friend Gino's birthday. Then we got the DabbleCon coming up in Rochester, New York, February 3rd and 4th at Comedy at the Carlson. Live podcast tapings, stand-up comedy, a meet and greet, the Dabby Awards. Who knows what the hell that's even going to be. Then I'm doing a weekend in San Diego, February 24th and 25th at the Mic Drop Comedy Club. Get your tickets. I believe my good friend Gary from Nerdrotic will be there. Maybe a couple more people from the F&T crew. So come check it out. If you're in the area for tickets, go to my website, ChrissieMayr.com. I'm always booking new dates all the time. I really want to get to Arizona, New Mexico in 2023. There are a lot of cities I want to get to. So make sure if you have a comedy venue near you and you want me to come to your area, tweet at them, tweet at me, tag, be annoying. And that's how we get booked when you don't have agents or managers. Okay, enough about me. My God, you're here for the guests, of course. So let's bring them in. A couple of them are coming in later. Oh my goodness. Yes, we got Vic Mignogna. You might know him from Star Trek or his many voiceover projects. So happy to have Vic here. Hello, Vic.
Thank you, Chrissy. I'm so happy to join you guys.
You look like you're being maybe taken by aliens. Those are abduction lights behind
those are tiny little alien ships. And
ooh,
yeah, I don't know how long I'll be here, but
okay. We're happy to have you for as long as they'll let you stay. Hannah Fronz.
Hi.
Hannah Fronz.
Hannah Fronz.
Hello. Apparently, I also have a 50% ownership in Hobby Lobby, according to all my decorations as you were just talking about. So yeah, I was trying to
changes color.
That's a Philips Smart Light. I highly recommend.
Hannah has a YouTube channel where she talks about pop culture and conspiracies, and she's the sister of another SimpCast, lovely, Fair and Balanced, correct?
Yes.
Right? I think I'm getting that right.
That is correct. So yes, I do have a name, everybody. It's not just Farron's sister. It is Hannah.
Oh no, do you hate that?
No, I'm kind of used to it. I mean, when you're a little sister, it just kind of comes with the territory, especially when your older sister is Farron, who is a personality with a capital P. You know what I mean?
Funny if your name was like not so balanced.
Hannah Unbalanced.
Yeah. Hannah Unbalanced. And last but not least, because we got more ladies coming in. She is the let me see if I remember this correctly. Either editor-in-chief or editor at large. Like she's very much in charge of the post-millennial. Libby
It was
Emmons.
the first one. Hi guys.
Okay.
How's it going?
Hi, Libby.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Libby. Oh my gosh, it's good to have you here, Libby. It's good to have. I feel like when I have someone like Libby on, who is like a mental giant and is really like on like on top of the news and can speak so intelligently about. I feel relieved because it is crazy. Just in the last week, there has been enough news, I think, for like several months. I mean, we had.
Oh, it's been exciting. It's been an exciting news cycle. So
it has been
it
exciting.
went from like super boring to fascinating. It's great.
It is exciting because you figure like, all right, how is the left wing media going to just try to like string along any mention of Trump? Like they're just trying to resuscitate him into their headlines. But now we had Kanye West go on Tim Pool, walk off Tim Pool. Everyone was mad at Tim Pool. Not everyone. I was seeing a lot of criticism for him. Oh, you messed up. You screwed up. And then Kanye goes on Alex Jones' show. And then we really hear what a 2-3 hour Kanye West interview would have sounded like. And then for me, I went, oh, look, Tim really made the right choice because he didn't let him. I don't know, Vic, if you were watching this whole like Kanye saga this week.
I was getting the highlights from friends. I didn't get all of it, but I did get some of the highlights.
Then Kanye went on to Alex Jones's show, and which was like ultimately great for InfoWars. I think they had maybe like 30 or 40 million people watching Infowars.com, like maybe like 10 million more than usual. So Alex was like, everybody buy more vitamins. Our bandwidth is ridiculous.
Yeah. Kanye didn't even have his face showing. It was like a full like dominator or what BDSM
he wore
mask.
a full hood covering his face, and then I was like, "Is that the Balenciaga one? That the one that we're all still trending? That's dabbled in the kind of pedo adjacent marketing campaigns." Okay, that's
now I want to look.
It was the same Balenciaga. It looked like that Kim wore at the Met Gala.
Yeah.
Now I want to look up a picture. I want to see what this looks like.
Oh my gosh.
It's a hood. I mean, it's a black
and
hood.
Vic is an extremely one of the most stylish, well-dressed people that I have ever met in my life. And I think even Vic would be like, no, I would never wear this. Like, I don't care what designer.
Now I really want to see it, and I want to know where.
Okay, let's find a picture.
Balenciaga's just like never been my vibe anyway. It just, I mean, it's kind of funny how all this stuff is coming out now about it because it has always had that creepy, satanic type of imagery and stuff to it, and this is definitely no exception. It's a weird,
What in the world?
So he had like a NASCAR jacket. He had the Holy Bible in front of him.
My goodness,
it was a lot of what I would call.
Is he doing an interview or holding up a quickie mart?
I know. And I was like, can you see this thing? And it does look like a gimp suit because those look like zippers for the eyes.
Wow.
And it's just an interesting choice given all of the really bad press that Balenciaga has been getting.
But we
know
at
one point Jones was like, what?
But we know that's him under there, right?
No, well, at one point, Alex Jones was like, how do we even know that it's Kanye West under there?
Yeah.
He was like, I don't even know. Yeah,
could be an impersonator.
Yeah,
some guy who's just really good at voiceovers for Kanye. You know what I mean?
I thought Tim did a really good job pushing back against Kanye's total Jew hate, which was I thought it was good that he pushed back on that because nobody should just accept that kind of nonsense, whether it's a piece of gimpy performance art or not. Like that, that's got to be challenged.
I do too, Libby, and he got so much shit for it, and it's like, look, you still have he's doing it on YouTube. It's a different ball game than when you're on InfoWars, where you can say anything. And I heard a lot of criticism of Tim being like, oh, really? Basically, because I sort of had Tim's back on it. Oh, really, Chrissy? So you're saying you should be censoring speech? That's what you're saying? You're pro censorship? I'm like, no,
it's
idiot.
not censorship to like have discourse and to say to someone you're totally full of crap.
Yeah, that's the opposite of censorship.
You're totally full of it. Like what you're saying is nonsense, garbage, and incorrect.
Tim would not have gotten to the place where he's at if it weren't for his standards, the way he does his show, the way he challenges. People give him crap. They think he interrupts people too much. People say, oh, it's a Tim show. He doesn't let his guests talk. But like, he did the right move in challenging Kanye on his views, because then you see him go on InfoWars and he says like, I like Nazis, and not everyone is going to look deeply into what Kanye says, given take his possibly mental illness or bipolar into consideration. Who knows like how much of that is like in play, but there's people who are like, well, what he meant is that, as Christians, we're supposed to love our enemies and we're supposed to love everyone. But he's not saying that. He was saying it in the worst way possible by saying like Hitler had
he wasn't saying that at all. I mean, he's out like, so my take is Kim Kardashian left him. And he totally, can we curse on this show?
Yeah, go nuts.
Yeah. So Kim Kardashian left him. He totally lost his shit. He's like now forced to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in child support. He's ruined his career to a large degree. He doesn't have most of his contracts that he had previously. I think he's totally out of his mind. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm not a mental health expert. Caveat, whatever, but I think he's totally out of his mind. I think he's lost it entirely. And saying the kind of stuff that he was saying, like, it wasn't funny, it wasn't provocative, it wasn't interesting, it wasn't nuanced. There was no meaning and depth into it. It was just hateful things to say. It was cruel, hateful things to say. And I don't think anyone should stand there and be like, oh, I'm just going to let you talk as you say ridiculously horrible things. If somebody came out there and was like, hey, I like to do horrible things to children, we would all be like, stop saying that. I don't care if you actually don't. There's absolutely no reason to go around saying these horrible things just because you think you're trying to do some sort of, massive gag on the world and not even have any backup that you are doing that. It's ludicrous.
You guys bring up a good point too, because there's part of me where he's obviously had struggles with bipolar disorder, right? And when this first started happening, I was wondering if he was having some sort of manic break, because he would always talk about like God and like a higher power and stuff, which is very, very typical of like a manic break behavior. And it still kind of is like his part of his thing that he's talking about. But then I also look at it and I'm like, it feels like it's been, now I don't know anybody with bipolar disorder, but I feel like it's been so long. Like it's been a couple weeks that he's still behaving this way. And that's where I'm just like, I don't know, like that's my thing, is it just feels like it's been going on too long. If he just actually feels this way and is not this crazy. I don't know how to articulate what I'm saying, but regardless, I think he's very, go ahead.
He has spoken about his struggle with bipolar disorder. He says it's like, and this was back in 2019. I saw another article even from 2021. It's like a sprained brain. And I'm sure, I don't know what the process of becoming his level of celebrity is, but I'm sure it involves, I don't know, some abuse. And he you take a very creative person to begin with. So it's like they're going to be, I just feel like there's a lot of, anytime you have any type of creative genius, like there is something in there. There's on the other side of that is maybe some kind of like mental weakness or whatever. I just feel like he was taken advantage of and abused. And I don't know if people believe in MK Ultra or not, but this article was from Kanye West. He went on to Letterman's it was the new show at the time. Letterman asked West, "What is the mechanism that is malfunctioning or is taking a break in your brain? Do you know?" he said, I wouldn't be able to explain just that much because, I'm not a doctor. I can just tell you that what I'm feeling at the time, and I feel like a heightened connection with the universe when I'm ramping up. It is a health issue. It's like a sprained brain, like having a sprained ankle. And when someone has a sprained ankle, you're not going to push him more. With us, once our brain gets to a point of spraining, people do everything to make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a couple years ago. That's part of the issue. It's not a tumor or a mass that you can see. It's not plaque, but the pain is real. Yikes. So yeah, a lot of people have said he appears to be in the middle of a manic episode.
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to a lot of commentary about what they think is going on with him, but I think for sure everyone around him in his presidential campaign is taking advantage, and of course, the people who want to get involved in politics are oftentimes the people who should not be in politics. I
kind of feel like if anyone wants to be the leader, they should probably not be the leader. Wanting to lead this nation should be almost an automatic disqualification that you should not be doing it. What happened to the reluctant leader? Remember, George Washington did not want to be president. And then he gave up. He didn't run for a second term.
You know what?
I
Libby,
agree.
I was.
Brittany Venti is here. Hello, Venti.
Brittany. Hey.
Hi. Sorry, I'm
Libby,
late.
Libby, this morning, Libby, I was watching Gladiator. I had Gladiator on television in the background while I was getting ready this morning, and there was that scene where the Emperor says to Maximus, "Are you ready to do your service to Rome? I want you to take over in my place." And Maximus goes, "With all my heart, no."
Right.
No,
for real.
I don't want that. And then you can't help but go, yeah, that's exactly why you're the right guy, because you're not in this for power. You're not in this for influence or money or kickbacks or fame. And
I think
Avatar.
Avatar,
The Last Airbender. Aang didn't want to be chosen, so he got frozen for 100 years, and he's like, I got to do this.
Yeah. I think of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Avatar.
Oh my God.
The original Avatar?
I've never
the
seen
Airbender.
Yeah,
cartoon.
I don't. No, I never saw any of it.
It's from
it's so good.
I'm so bummed.
It was great. It was a great anime. It wasn't anime.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was.
Every
It was
time a
fake
cartoon comes
to look
up,
like
I'm
him.
like, every time a cartoon comes up, I'm like, Vic, were you in that? It's like you always have to run it by because there's a good chance he was. So Vic, were you in Avatar?
No, actually, that was kind of before my time. But what's interesting is when somebody told me Avatar was really great, I should see it, and I watched it, and of course I recognized a lot of my friends that were in it, voices that friends of mine were in it, and I didn't even know anything about it, but I binged the whole series and loved it, and I found out that it was made to kind of look like anime, but it was made by, what was it, Nickelodeon?
Mm-hmm.
It was Western animation, but it was stylized to look like Japanese anime, so it didn't come from Japan, but it was
that's interesting.
show, Libby. You should check it out.
Yeah, just like Boondocks too. Boondocks looks anime, but it's also a mix of black, and that's what made it so unique and interesting.
Yeah.
Is this the right one here? This doesn't at all look what I was expecting Avatar with the blue creatures with the tails.
Yeah, no.
Well,
This is the other
James
one.
Cameron's Avatar.
Oh God.
Which nation would you have been in? So there's the Fire Nation, the Water Nation, the Air Nation. And is there another one? Or is it just those? Or the Earth Nation?
Is there an Earth?
Yeah.
Earth,
each
fire,
element has
water,
a
air.
Mhm.
Well, Earth
This is
like North
which
Korea.
Harry Potter house are you? Except I have no idea what
Yes.
you're talking about.
Okay,
Yeah.
Hannah, you asked that question, Hannah. So, which house would you be in?
I've given this a lot of thought, but I would be an airbender because my eyes are gray, which is like everybody in the airbender nation, I think, has gray eyes. And I'm also an Aquarius, which is an air sign.
Oh, you too?
So I'm like,
Nice.
yes. So I was like, all right, by default, I just feel like everything is pointing to air for me.
I have a simple solution for this. So there's actually a guide for this, and it's based on your hand, if you have which element hand. So I'm going to link it in the private chat. Let me know
I
if the
just
link
saw
works.
a quiz. I just saw a quiz for which Avatar element are you?
Oh my!
But yeah.
What is the criterion?
Okay. Wow. 1 of 30. Okay.
Yeah.
Shoot, maybe we should focus. Should we focus the answers to one person, or should we
I
all
told
answer
you
as a
that
group?
I told you the simple solution is just click the link I sent. It tells you based on your hand.
Oh, snap. How your hand looks?
Yeah.
Long.
I mean,
I think mine also adds up to air with the hand.
What? This is interesting.
I
Okay, I'm
don't-
going to show this really quick.
I don't understand how this works.
Wow.
Where are you getting this from?
Oh, I've just seen it around and I referred to it recently. So I remembered that this was a thing because I was kind of curious. Because I couldn't figure it out at first, but this one makes it easier. It tells you based on like if the palm is long or the finger short. That helps.
So, Brittany, which one are you now?
Well, I'm an Aquarius too, so that's good reasoning. I also have grayish eyes. So that's good reasoning, Hannah. But I think I also match up with the hands. I think this part of I can't tell. It's hard to say if it's air or water because I have pretty long hands, but I think it's air.
Yeah.
Am I retarded by thinking all these hands look exactly the same?
No, they all look exactly the same. There's no difference. There's like the one on all the way on the right is sort of piano fingers. The one on the way on the left is like, I don't know, peasant fingers, but I can't tell which one mine would be. Like my hand doesn't
Water
look like
hands
any of these hands.
have long fingers, and I think the earth hand looks like just like a big meaty paw.
Like Italian hands. Italians are
Yeah.
Hey,
hands.
hey, what
Yeah.
are you saying? What are you talking about, eh?
I'm Italian and my
Look at
hand
that.
does not look like that.
Exactly. I'm Italian and my
Yep.
hand don't look like that
You
either.
know.
I think this is long everything if I'm looking at mine.
Chrissy, you have long
mine.
fingers. I think yours is air. It looks airy to me.
Okay.
I really
I'll have
all I
air
have
hands.
is that, you know, I'd go with Ravenclaw.
Show your
That's
hands.
like everything I got right now.
Show hands, everyone. Let me see them.
Okay, okay.
Let's see. Can you put yours closer, Libby? Okay. So hers, she has long fingers too, is short midsection. So that's probably air because that's short, long. Vic, yours is earth. Yours is wide.
Yeah.
Then
Got big man
Hannah.
hands.
Hannah looks like water, actually. You have long both.
Yeah.
Oh,
You have water
okay.
hands.
Close
Oh,
enough.
look at those fingers. Yep.
And the
That's
spine.
water.
Yes. Someone's out there hacking all of our fingerprints right now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
They're
that
gonna
was
break
my
in for
first
fun.
thought. I'm like, this is not what. Did you see this thing where like, oh, that's depressing. Never mind.
What?
Forget it.
Wait, like you can tell when you're gonna die based on your hand.
Oh
No,
yeah.
there's been this horrible thing. There's been these people getting murdered in New York, and then the murderers use their face to open their phones and then steal all their money.
Oh yeah, you can do that. There's so many ways.
Whoa.
That's why you should disable face recognition from your phone. It's like you could get in so easily with it. It's
Yeah,
useless.
all you have to
Open it
do
up.
is kill someone and hold their phone up to their face.
Yeah.
Or take a
Or
photo
you
of their
can steal all
face
their
and
money.
show it. That
Or
works
your,
too.
or your boyfriend just
photo.
sleeping next to you. Your boyfriend just sleeping next to you, and you just
Yeah,
open his
exactly.
phone.
No, it's like
I
Every
don't
man.
You have
understand
to
like
hack that
ever
password,
wanting
too.
to go into somebody else's phone. I just feel
I
like,
know this for
whoa,
educational
hands
purposes,
off.
by the way.
No interest in that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I will
wanna
tell
do
you, that was definitely a joke, but I will say I've had girlfriends where they go through their boyfriend's phones, and I'm like, you're never gonna like you're going with the explicit purpose of finding something that you will not like. Like you're always
You
gonna
will
find
find
something
it.
you don't like. You know what I mean?
It's like going through some guy's boxers. Like you're gonna find shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so just don't go through a phone.
Well, and
don't
the
go through
thing too is
underpants.
it's like if you don't trust the
Mhm.
person, get out of their bed.
Yeah.
Or like
Mhm.
have that conversation. Be like, I get the feeling that like I don't know. I always when I look at you, you're always like looking at some like whore on Instagram. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
you're liking too many photos, or I see you talking to people who I don't know. Like say the thing.
The other thing,
Yeah.
like, what is, is that really dispositive of somebody who's not paying enough attention to you or not into you enough either? I mean, everybody looks at people, everybody scrolls Instagram. Like, that doesn't mean they're not into you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This idea that we have to like police our partner's every thought is just so absurd. I
Remember
couldn't have,
when-
like it. I
Oh.
couldn't imagine.
I think there's a
I mean,
difference, though.
I also
There
don't
is.
have a partner, so it's like probably
I think-
reasons for that.
Isn't there a difference though between like, yeah, if something happens to come into your field of vision, you see it, your brain has pattern recognition versus indulging in it. I think there's a discernment to be
Yeah.
made there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I would feel uncomfortable like indulging in something inappropriate like if I'm with someone, like even if nobody would know, like it makes me uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the difference. You can see things, but it's like, how much are you indulging in it afterward? Are you like obsessing over? Are you like thinking about it all the time? When you're with them, are you thinking about other people? That type of thing.
Snooping is never good because it's like you're snooping because you have a feeling and you're just looking for proof. Like there's something about you. Like I need this proof so I can, but it's like either way, you're going to have the conversation. Like whether you find something, like then you're definitely going to be like, what the fuck is this? So you might as well. It's like the proof is the thing that gives you the nerves to bring up the conversation. I think that's where that impulse comes from.
That's a good way to look at it.
I've never been interested in looking at any like partners private. I mean, I don't even, people that I've dated, I don't even look them up online half the time. You know what I mean? And like, ooh, what did they post on Twitter or what did they post on their Instagram? I didn't even look. I don't even know. And so I always find it kind of uncomfortable, you know, whenever I've been in the past with somebody who is kind of really into that. And I'm like, why do you care? You know, why are you so, why is it so important to you?
Like we all have our insecure moments, but I think like, oh, don't lean into that. Like it's just a really bad habit. I think it's like being bulimic. It's like, even if someone doesn't catch you doing it, it's still really unhealthy. And it's just like, and we're all insecure, but it's like when you start going through someone's phone, it's like, it's a really bad habit. And now it's really sneaky. And it's like, you wouldn't want that to happen to you. Cause we all have some, like, we all have some friend or some, you know, someone in our life who you could look at the messages and be like, huh, really? It's like, oh no, this is how this person is, or we have an inside joke or like whatever.
I was just going to say, Chrissy, when you were about to finish, I was just going to say, you know, the golden rule applies so often in so many situations where, like, does anybody want their private things gone through? Anybody? Anyone? Does anybody want their phone gone through or their laptop or their emails? Nobody wants that. So why would you do it to somebody else? You know?
Yeah. Especially someone that you supposedly love too.
Right.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't want my significant other to see my schizo bimbo conversations with me and my bestie, talking about channeling our energy at people. Like, I've literally done the most schizo stuff with my friend. It'd be like kind of embarrassing. It's like not even about anything sexual. Just like Googling, do you have autism type of thing. Like, I don't want people to Google that.
Like, I saw in this conversation that you've been putting your own blood and you're cooking for a while to cast the love.
God.
Is that true?
When I was in college,
you can't prove that.
I was in college and I was in a drama class, and this woman I know, like everyone was supposed to, whatever, it was Sarah Lawrence, and this woman brought in like her song and she played it on her guitar. And it was about how she was putting her menstrual blood in her boyfriend's food. And
God, no.
I'm gonna go.
It was
I'm
about that.
No, we're gonna take her Vic away.
Vic, it was nice to meet you.
And I knew her boyfriend, like he was good friends with my friend. And I was like, so I told my friend, I was like, this came up in my drama class. I don't know if you want to tell, you know, what's his name about this? And she was just like, blah, like she was dying.
Wow.
Well, the question is, did he actually seem more in love with her? Was he like more in love with her than normal?
Yeah. No, it did not appear to work. And I think my friend told him about the drama class, and I think they broke up.
I have a friend who did that,
which I mean, like if somebody's feeding you their bodily fluids without your consent, like that's a deal breaker, you know? Yeah. That's a deal breaker.
She should have just channeled her schizo energy at him instead, like I do.
No, she was channeling that at me. She was crazy.
Oh my God.
I really want to
office, like on campus. And I was like, this woman, I hate her. She was, it was rough.
She sounds like
Sarah Lawrence, Libby?
Yeah, I sure did go to Sarah Lawrence.
Like lesbian school.
Uh-huh.
I just think of 10 things
I was on the 5-year program. It took me 5 years to graduate.
What did you study?
I studied theater and philosophy.
Okay. With a minor in witchcraft.
Yeah.
Mine are in LSD, really. But,
Really?
yeah, for real.
What?
Wow. I never would have guessed that.
Really?
No.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What did you learn from philosophy?
I
give us
imagine
something
the worst
important.
thing you did was like mess up a library. Like that would be my guess.
Oh, wow. That's so funny. You know, the people who've known me the longest are like, are you staying out of trouble? Because we're concerned about you.
Wow.
Yeah. No,
What
I
was
was
like
a
the
bit of a
craziest?
troublemaker.
Did you have any visions or
Visions? Plenty. Yeah, there were plenty of those. There was a lot of madness, a lot of craziness.
What lessons can you give the people?
Yeah.
Lessons? Don't take more than 2 hits of acid at a time. Is a good one.
That is.
I was thinking more
Annie.
That's a good one.
I was
Always
thinking
make
more
sure you have a
spiritual
Xanax
lessons.
to like come down on at the end. Otherwise, you're in a lot of pain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Try to avoid things like spilling liquid acid on your hands when you have to write term papers.
Wait,
my
wait
God.
a second, Libby. I'm writing these down.
Yeah, these are really good tips.
I want to make
Really good
sure.
tips.
Yeah.
They teach these in public school.
For me, college was like I would down a whole sleeve of cookies, and then like I had like basically an eating journal. I'd be like, "Oh, this is the last night I'm ever gonna do this," and then I'd be like, "Ah," and I'd be like, "I'm never gonna do this again. After this box, I'm a new woman," you know. And it was like that for 4 years. Like
I did this other thing where the people who lived in my house kept getting way too stoned and eating all my ice cream, so I got a fridge for my dorm room so that they wouldn't get to eat my ice cream.
Did you
And
did you put some sort of a padlock or a code or something on it?
No, but I had a lock on my door.
Did you paint like a blood seal on it?
No, but that would have been smart.
Yeah, that
The blood of a lamb, put it over your
In
door.
retrospect, I totally missed my opportunity.
Exactly.
No, it actually is a good idea because I did something similar once. When I was living in Jersey City in Journal Square, it's very ghetto. They're very dangerous, but it's like right next to New York. So a lot of people live there because you just take the train in. So basically my packages kept getting stolen. And I found one day that my package was empty. Like I had the box, but the clothing was gone. It was from Aritzia. So it was like kind of expensive. So I was upset. And so I wrote a sign on the door that said, the person who took it is getting hexed unless you return it. And any further packages are going to hex you. And then packages stop going missing. So.
Wow.
I live in Brooklyn and my packages get stolen. I get like a text message that my package is there. And if I'm not downstairs to pick it up within 10 minutes, it's stolen.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the package. Like, it's not like the Amazon with my printer cartridge in it. It's the box that says Sephora, you know?
Yeah.
That's just gone.
Yeah. When I lived in New York, that used to happen to me all the time too. Because they would just like throw it in the hall, and it's like somebody just would follow somebody into the building, and they would take all the packages, run up to I guess like our 6th floor or something that we had, and they would
what's
just
going on here.
Yeah, they would just rip everything up, grab the valuables, and then bounce. And it happened to me so many times. And I used to tell them, like, dude, I would put directions like, do not drop off the package unless I sign it or pick it up myself. Because, yeah, within 2 minutes, gone. Every single time. It was
This is where
wild.
wonderful neighbors. This is where wonderful neighbors come in.
Oh, I don't even know my neighbors.
I have this lady named Jan that lives next door to me, and she's like the greatest neighbor ever. I travel a lot, and when I'm out of town, as you would imagine, packages get delivered whenever you're gone. And I'll text her, and like immediately within 1 minute, my video doorbell will send me a message, and it's a picture of her on my porch getting the package. And she's the nicest neighbor ever.
Yeah, it's because we
God
live in a
bless
high
her.
trust. We live in a high trust part of the country versus like New York is a very low trust. Like you can leave something on the ground for 2 seconds, and even if someone stole it, the police don't help. Chrissy had her stuff stolen. Did the police help? Do you think to call the police, Chrissy, in New York?
Oh God, no! And then when people asked us, we laughed at them. We'd be like, in New York City, sure. We had a woman
call the
come up
police.
into the studio at Compound Media, and we had security footage, so we could rewatch the whole thing while my show was going on. So it's like we have the bar, we all hang out at the bar across the street. Then we walk over. There's a lot of fans too that come and watch. And so I didn't know this was happening until the next day. The next day they played the footage, and this girl came in, and of course she was black. So like we're being super nice because we're trying not to be racist. But it's like, well, now it's like, what do? You either have to not be racist or get your shit stolen. So I watched this footage of like this girl like rooting through my bag. She took like $300, a credit card. She took someone else's credit card, and I was like, thank God she didn't take my laptop at the time because I had all of my podcasts on it. But then we like never saw her again, and I was like, I don't know, it just felt like ugh. It felt like
that used to happen all the time in clubs downtown. Is like everyone would put their coats in a pile, you know, and like someone would come in and just rifle through everybody's. I remember one day like going to look for my handbag, which was on a pile with all my friends' stuff at like a booth in some club or whatever. And I went and I found my keys on the floor, and I found my wallet on the floor, and my handbag was gone. And I was like, well, at least I have my keys, my wallet.
Whoa.
Okay. Yeah.
Was that really nice
phone,
purse?
wallet, keys. That's all that matters.
I blacked out if it was a nice purse.
Doesn't that
I
suck
hope it
about New
wasn't.
York though? Like you
But,
in the
yeah, I've had
wintertime, you
stuff.
have to carry this like huge parka around or like this huge coat in New York because it gets so cold. And then you go inside anywhere and there's nowhere to put it. You're just expected to like
Right, like,
carry
what
it around
happened to
and
the
also
coat
carry your
check?
shopping bags because you don't have a car to put it in either, right?
No, and it's like once you leave your house, you're like out of your house until you get home sometime the next
All
morning
day.
very early at like 1 a.m. So it's like you leave. This is how it was before the pandemic anyway. You go to work, you do your little shopping, you go to the thing after work, you go to the thing after that, you're carrying all your stuff, and then you're like
Everyone is a
schlepping
bag
everything home.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't have that experience anymore because now I work from home and I never go anywhere. So it's convenient, you know.
Libby, what part of the country are you in?
I'm in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, okay. So you're still up in that area. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something
I've been
wild
here
that
for a very
happened
long time.
to me oh wow. Something wild that happened to me out there. So one of the other things that people do is they will get your credit card information on the subway. They'll just kind of like bump up against you and get it's some sort of electronic. Yeah. So that happened to me one time on a subway, and I went home for Christmas, ironically. I think this was about like 3 years ago. And my dad like comes downstairs in a rush on like Christmas Eve. He's like, "What are you buying for $350 at the Apple store?" And I was like, nothing. Like, what is happening? Well, we were able to track it down. It was somebody who had stolen my credit card information from the subway. And because like I said, it's like something that they bump into you and get it or something.
Yeah.
That's why they have now like the scan proof wallets and stuff that you can get. But we were basically tracing this person just buying things all up Fifth Avenue, going into like all the stores with my credit card. And it was about like $3,000 when all was said and done. It was so wild because it was, someone just stole all my information on the subway.
Damn.
We have so much technology now for like I've seen influencers get caught stealing because the cameras are actually kind of high def now. So people try to steal and they get caught. So I'm actually surprised that he's still able to get away with that because it's not like back in the day so much where it's like 2 pixels is the camera screen. It's more high definition.
You know, when you go to pump gas too, and it says protect your password, like there's some guy, 60 yards away with binoculars. 6, 4, got it. Wow.
Oh man, it's so crazy.
Vic just gave out his pin.
Yeah.
From Fair and Balance. Oh, thank you for the 20, Fair. Shout out to all you beautiful ladies, especially my beautiful sister Hannah Fronz. Have a wonderful show. I'll be watching, cheering you on like a pageant. I thought that said pregnant mom, like a pageant mom on toddlers and tiaras. Sparkle baby. Thank you, Karen. From Crash Mono. Wow, thanks for the 20. Calling all simps. Let's make a Simp Miss Miracle happen and get Nina's calendar campaign funded. It's all or nothing. Oh, yeah, I'll bring that up. Nina's got a calendar that she's working on. I think it's in the last maybe 2 or 3 days to get funded. Go to fundraiser.com/Nina.
She's doing good.
It's her cosplay calendar. Yeah, she's like
so cool.
Less than $3,000 of the way there. So Yeah, throw her a couple bucks. Support her so she can feed her cats. I don't know if she has cats, but
Yeah, she has cat.
support her so
Pretty
she can
cat.
get more cats.
She posted
Yeah.
this really pretty photo of her cat. I commented and I was like, "Can you please send me that? I want it as my wallpaper." It's this beautiful picture of her white cat next to Christmas lights. I was like, "I want that."
Oh, that's cute.
That is cute. Thank you, Big Raj, for the super sticker from my netter. Yay needs to make a Yazzie themed sex tape next. Oh, I
Sax
don't see
tape.
that.
So somebody plays the saxophone.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Careless whispers.
I'm really looking for a clarinet tape. I'm not into sax tapes.
Chrissy, do you
That's
ever
the
come
Woody
to-
Allen one, is the clarinet tape.
Do you ever come to DC, or is it just too goddamn liberal? Would love to have you come visit and hang. I would go to DC. There is a comedy venue there I could do. Vic, show us your feet. You don't have to.
That's
do it.
never
Vic.
going to happen.
Yeah.
It is SimpCast.
What,
For free.
Okay, can I just say, I've heard that there's a thing about feet, and I don't understand what's happening with.
There's Wiki Feet, which I found myself on a couple years ago, only because I was a professional foot model, and I would take a lot of pictures of my feet, like in the shoes. So then I ended up, and then they just take your just pictures from your Instagram where your feet are there, and they put them on.
Amazing. I heard it's a
Sounds
very
really
lucrative.
disturbing.
I
Have
hear
you
it's a
guys
very
all shown
lucrative
your-
thing.
Have you guys all shown your feet somewhere? I mean,
No.
Hard not to.
okay, good.
Let's see if you're on it, Vic.
I'm not on it. No chance.
No, darn it.
I've
They
definitely
really
had
take
people.
anything.
I've had people DM me for feet pics before, and they'll be like, "I'll send you $400 for pictures of your feet," and I'm like, I mean, no. It gives me pause, but never.
That is so weird.
No.
Yeah. It just feels like you're opening Pandora's box when you do that. You know what I mean? So,
Nothing for
but I hear it's
Hannah.
very lucrative.
Is it fair
Nothing
to
for me.
assume that is it fair to assume
Ah!
what? Who's that?
5
This is Brittany,
stars.
but they just take whatever pictures like that exist of you in the world. Like,
Yeah.
oops, what the hell did I click on? No. Oh, okay. I clicked on
I
something
see a
with earwax.
crazy double chin. Or no, that's a belly. Never
They
mind.
just take like just pictures of your. Oh, this looks like somebody's still from a video. I don't know. They just
Chrissy,
like...
you took that photo, the one on the balcony. I'm pretty sure you took that one.
Oh
right?
yeah, this one. Yep, but now it ends up on WikiFeet.
Yeah.
Your
5
outfit
stars, Brittany.
pictures.
The feet are in the picture.
Yep.
Yes.
Wow.
I have
You
shoes
made
on
it.
in all
Seems
these
to me-
photos.
It seems to me that it's mostly like, am I right that it's mostly like people are interested in women's feet, like female feet? I don't really.
Seems that way.
Yeah.
Oh, there's been new additions. God damn it. From the content house. I should have known.
They updated it.
They updated it. Ah, these people.
I need to know what constitutes a 5-star foot. 'Cause
Yeah.
Chrissy, you're like
Wow, I have
teetering. You're kind of
four-
a 5-star.
I have like 4.25.
Let's
Yeah.
hear from the professional foot model. What makes feet model worthy?
Oh no,
Yeah.
this is me. I'm just asking for it here.
Oh yeah, that's the goal. There it is. That's the holy grail of pictures right there.
Oh my god.
Also, which airbender house are your feet in?
Airbender. Oh right.
They have
Well, the
something
middle
like that
section is
actually.
blue, and then the toes are red.
Right?
I used to do my own like pedicures, and I was like, oh look, it looks like they're kissing each other. Like I had too much time on my hands. I used to just like do a lot of like, oh, this is how my feet look in these photos, like these shoes that I'm getting for free. I would get paid like in shoes sometimes. There was a designer called Matt Bernson that I got this job on Craigslist, like in between all my jobs, but they were at a Tribeca, and I couldn't believe it was a real gig because like, you know, they're like, oh, it's $50 an hour, but they would never have me in for an hour. They'd have me in for like 15 minutes at a time. Oh my God, Hannah. This is bad. I've like really embraced it. What did she do? She's talking about her webbed toe. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
This is not. We're not well.
Are these pictures of your feet, Chrissie?
In here?
Yeah.
This whole page is me.
Okay.
Like this is just me at the summertime. Like
Foots everywhere.
Feet. Like, yeah, I'm not trying to hide it at this point. But apparently I have without sounding like I'm full of myself, like the ideal size 7 foot, because I guess to be a foot model you have to be a size 7.
Oh.
And my arch is decent, so I would come in and like try on all these shoes for like almost no money. And then you just give them feedback, like what was comfortable, what wasn't. They take pictures of it, they send them back to Brazil or Spain or wherever the shoe factory is. And that was my life for a while. That was like what I think I had like two or three jobs at the time, and that was one of them.
Lucky you.
Good times.
I have a big old clunky 9.5 myself, so a foot model I could not be, unfortunately.
You're a sturdy girl. You're not gonna. No one can push you over.
Yeah, no.
Then what does that mean about me? I don't think I'm ever getting pushed over.
Yeah, you're
what
solid.
size shoe?
You like 10.5, 11, 12?
11 double wide.
What?
Wow.
But it doesn't look it at all.
These are like surfboards. It's like 2 surfboards.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're my floppers, my little flippers, big flippers. I call them brat style feet. That's my way of coping.
But
what do you call it? What'd you say?
Brat style feet.
What's that?
Oh, brat stall, the one that you put in water and like your underwear shows up.
No, Chrissie, not that one.
What?
No, that's a Lowell doll.
Yeah, brat style is the one where they were doing like the Instagram look before Instagram. They had like the big lips, the really pretty makeup, they had really fashionable clothes, and had big feet
and
with
like
platform
big
shoes.
heads, right? They had like big
brat
heads.
style.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, brats. Yes.
Yeah, brat style.
Brats.
I know it took me a minute, and then she started explaining. I was like, right, brats.
Brats with a Z. We got it.
Yes.
No, Hannah, Hannah, you said something about 9 or 9.5, but here's my question. If you don't have any other feet in the picture, you have no reference for, you know what I mean? So why wouldn't 9s or 9.5s be good feet models as well?
Because no one wants a plus size model.
Yeah, but
I mean, think about it. Like,
no, but
even
plus size is only relative. You see what I'm saying?
You could say that, but like, you also don't see, unless it's like specifically a plus size campaign, you don't see oversized models modeling clothes either. Everyone's like a size 4.
I was going to say
2.
it might
It's
have to
the
do something
same,
with
like,
it might have to do something with sample size, because maybe that's like,
oh, that's true too. It's like
they only make the one, like with shoes, they make the samples in a 7 for some reason.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. But I was thinking, if you just take a picture of somebody's foot, if the foot is proportionally correct and there are no other feet, like,
I don't think it really works that.
You don't know how tall that person is, or whether that's a 7 or an 8.
Yeah.
No,
I think it. Oh, go ahead.
We're talking about foot racism here. If you're just tuning in,
it's like how nobody will know if a guy's short on the internet until you say something, unless they have really narrow shoulders.
Or like how they always put like what Dustin Hoffman on, they make him stand on boxes or something when he does movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
My new celebrity crush is Cillian Murphy, and I just found out he's 5'10", and I'm like, damn it, he's too short for me.
Cillian Murphy?
Cillian Murphy from
short?
Peaky Blinders.
5'10"?
He's 5'10".
Yeah, 5'10" doesn't sound like short, does it?
I'm 5'9" though, so like I couldn't wear heels around him. I mean, I would still date him. Let me just be real.
This is your crush? Oh,
he's so hot in Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, most Hollywood men are around 5'10". I think
They're
maybe it has
usually-
something to do with like the camera, it being
is it?
favorable.
Yeah.
Like he looks like a masturbator to me.
He's so hot on Peaky Blinder. Okay, yeah, I agree. Like in real life, he
Think
kind
about
of
his
does
face
nothing
that
for me.
says masturbation.
His face says beautiful bone structure.
Yes, he's got a good face. Even in this
Yeah.
mugshot, he looks great.
Oh my god, that's a scary picture.
If
He looks awful in all those pictures.
Be a Hollywood.
No, you
Terrible
gotta
looking
like
guy.
put a third from the right, or
I don't
wait.
see it at all.
This one?
There's some do his GQ shoot.
This?
No. Go and search
looks like he's wearing a
Cillian Murphy
toupee.
GQ. I love that I feel like I have
like
to
just
defend my
another
choice now.
pasty British man.
Defend your choices. Okay.
Just my type.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all lighting. That's
Hello,
all lighting.
Daddy.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter
Tell him,
though, because
Vic.
on Peaky Blinders, this is all the lighting of him. So
He
do you
looks like a
understand?
chick in this photo.
Yeah, he kind of.
He looks like he marched at Charlottesville.
He looks
Oh,
like
I think
Tig
he's
Notaro
such
in
a
this
babe.
photo.
Kind of bit, yeah.
That's a
How
lady.
old is he, Hannah?
Oh God, he's gotta be like in his 40s, and he's married too. So I have no shot, and
You
he's
have work to
5'10".
do.
So it's like boom, boom, boom. It's like I just got taken out. I was like, oh, I think I have feelings for this person, and then like 10 seconds later, I was like, guess
Aw.
not.
Born in 76. He's from Cork, Ireland.
I can make it work.
Yeah. Just sit and wait for that marriage to fall apart and you can get in there.
I'm up for the challenge.
From Andrew Thomas. Hey, sexy ladies and Vic. I enjoy your voice work for the Iron Man anime, Vic, and Merry Christmas to my crush, Brittany, and everyone, because Brittany gave me some words of wisdom. Oh, what wisdom words did you give him, Brittany?
So on my stream yesterday, Andrew super chatted me and he said, Happy December. And I was like, excuse me? That's the most Reddit atheist thing I've ever heard. Happy December? Say Merry Christmas. And if you don't say Merry Christmas, you're not getting any gifts. It doesn't mean that you're Christian. That's like saying, oh, you worship Saturn because you say Saturday. It doesn't make sense. No, it's just like a holiday we celebrate. It's dumb. People saying happy holiday to be politically correct.
Yeah, like don't give someone a greeting in a half measure is what you're saying, or even like a partial, like don't half-ass it.
Well, thank you, Andrew. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoy the Iron Man series. Thank you.
Vic, I was so touched by that video you put out on your Twitter the other day where it was just like it was, you going through, you're like, yeah, like a lot of people have tried to cancel me, but like here's actual footage of, these meetups and how everyone is so happy to be at them. And it's more about and you and I have talked about this too. Like when I first met you, you were like, yeah, it's not about just freedom of speech. It's also like it's freedom of listening. And when trolls or haters get your events canceled, it's not just like me, the performer, my ego is damaged because I can't have this event, but it's like, no, it's these fans that don't get the chance to, maybe you were there for them at a pivotal point in their life or during a dark time, and they really want to go and thank you. And then if these events get canceled, it kind of takes that away from them.
Exactly. Why should somebody that doesn't like you, why should their opinion matter any more than somebody who does like you? I mean, why? Why does it carry any more weight when there are 500 people that want to meet Brittany Venti? Why should we not have her because 4 people don't want her? I mean,
it would be a lot more than that. It'd be like more like 5,000.
I just I didn't want to overestimate, but you're right. You're right, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, we've all faced like haters or trolls and like in one way or the other, but it's ultimately the most selfish thing you can do, right? Because it's like those 20 noisy people can take down an event. Like this has happened with I did a comedy show with Josh Denny and Gavin McGinnis was there and Anthony Cumia, and Antifa actually like was able to successfully shut down the first show, which was going to be in Rutherford, New Jersey, and then they found out that the mayor had actually threatened to take away the funding for the venue.
That's insanity. And it's always like just a couple of people who are
yeah.
And then
it turns out so the show was canceled and the venue didn't get their funding anyway. So it's like they threatened them with the funding and then
fuck the mayor.
Yeah, exactly. Keanu Thompson is here.
Hi, Keanu.
I'm very late.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Okay.
Hi.
It's all good.
It's okay. Well, you know what they
But
say:
yeah.
the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right?
Mhm.
Unfortunately, yeah. And thank you, Chrissy. Thank you for the kind words. So many people have come out at all of these events, and whenever you try to explain to somebody how great the events are, I came to feel like nobody really, they just figured you were blowing smoke, that they really weren't good. Nobody showed up. You're just trying to make us believe that. And all these people would shoot these videos. And I thought, I should get this out there because I just can't believe that. What kind of business decision is that? You know what I mean? Could you imagine if you run a business and you would rather cater to 2 people than 200 people? Like, how
But
is
you don't realize
that
it's just 2
decision?
people, right?
I'm
Like,
gonna play.
it's
This is only 3
2
minutes. I'm
really
gonna play
loud
this.
people.
I'm playing this again because it's just like it's so beautiful.
Hey there.
Yeah, it was.
I wanted to make a little video that I felt was long overdue. You guys have seen plenty of comments and horrible, hateful, slanderous, bullying, mean comments on social media. And I wanted you guys to know that they do not reflect what actually happens at these actual events that I've done. I have now done more than 40 events just in the last few years since the social media stuff started. People have shot videos at a lot of different events, and I want to share some of them with you. What you're looking at are events from store signings and shop signings to convention events just in the last couple of years. And what you'll see is that while there are 5 or 10 people on the internet who bully and threaten and call and try to forcibly keep people from having me at events. That was Bakersfield. There are literally hundreds upon hundreds, thousands of people that actually want to be there and are happy to have me there. If you look at the one, there's a timestamp in the corner, and it was a 10-hour solid signing session. The line never stopped. That's the reality. And, you know, on social media, you can say whatever you want. People are, if they have a grudge, or if they're unhappy with their lives and they're looking for a way to feel important or relevant in some way, they can hop on some bandwagon. They can New York City. Pretend to be offended by something or angry about something. They could say whatever they want. And that's scary. It should scare all of you. And I just felt like it was important to put out there that there are hundreds of Savannah, Georgia, of good people, Houston, that show up, and the experience and the exchanges and the interactions are always wonderful. I love people. I love meeting people and having them share their stories and their lives and the things that have mattered to them. It's always been very precious to me and will continue to be at any of the events that I'm afforded the opportunity to be at. Certainly hope to see a lot of you there, but I wanted to just put together this short little video to give you all an idea of the reality of the events that I do, not just what you read on social media. Have a great week. God bless all of you. I will hope to get to see you in person sometime soon.
Oh.
You know what would put a lot of people in their place? I just got the idea after watching that video. If there was a mandatory audience pan, like for all the people that are upset, like all the times that they have like 3 people show up and then they get uppity when someone, for example, like Chrissie has a lot of people, like that's literally happened before. Like mandatory audience pan. You have to show how many people come to your events.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, Chrissie, after I posted that, I thought of something that I wanted to say. And so I made another version of it. I didn't change it out, but I just added a couple lines in the middle. I'll tell you what it was. I added some more video of crowds, my line at different events. And what I said for the narration was, look at all these people. Who's going to stand up for them?
Right.
I mean, instead of standing up for the 5 or 10 people that get on your Facebook page and, you know, and cause trouble and try to bully, who's going to stand up for all of these good paying attendees who want to come out and see this guest? You know, I want so badly to politely, kindly, courteously appeal to convention organizers, people that I've known and worked with for years, you know, to take a stand for their paying attendees instead of bending over for a handful of malcontents on the internet, you know?
What did they say at Content House, Chrissie, that you guys like papered the audience audience.
Oh,
They're
at the
all
Orlando
there
Improv. Yeah.
at the Orlando Improv, right?
They thought the
were
audience
all
was
there
fake or
because of
papered, or
you.
like they weren't real people, or they were crisis actors. That they couldn't possibly be real people there for the show, or
like-
that it was half full. And I'm like, here's all these pictures where you can see the room is pretty much entirely full.
I mean, it was completely full, and everybody had a really fun time. So
yeah,
and that wasn't because you did something to make them be there. They just came to see you and your friends, and
You
no
see it
Kevin
in
Brennan.
all industries, like people that are hell bent on destroying someone that they're maybe jealous of, or instead of just working harder or maybe learning a lesson from that person. It's like never someone who's doing better than you that's doing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
True.
Oh my gosh, I had somebody sent me this Denzel Washington meme, and I saved it because it was so right on the money. And it literally is that quote. It's Denzel, and it says, "You will never be attacked by somebody doing less than you." Well, oh, here it is.
Oh no.
You will never be criticized by someone who's doing more than you.
Oh,
Excuse me.
yeah.
You will always be criticized by somebody doing less. Remember that.
Yep.
And you got to
Chrissy,
wonder, what did they get out of it? You know what I mean? Like, what do they get out of it? All they did was keep hundreds of people from having a good time. Like, the organizers lose out because they don't, sell as many tickets or get as much enthusiasm. I certainly lose out. All of the fans lose out because there's somebody they wanted to meet whose work they like. We all lose. Like, nobody wins. It's just.
Yeah. And then like, even for the loser person who's trying to shut it down, like that's just a fleeting, maybe it's like a fleeting win, like for the moment or the day or the week. They're like, yeah, I got this shut down. But that feeling then goes away, and then they have to do that again to someone else or to you again. It's not giving them anything lasting.
You need a new hit tomorrow. You need another shot of that dopamine tomorrow. Ooh, I'm important and relevant because I got somebody canceled. Wow, you should be so proud. I'm sure your parents are so proud of you.
Yeah,
and
it
a
goes
lot
right
of
on
the
the
fans
resume.
are not like scrappy internet types. A lot of the fans are not even on social media, so they're not. I think we're used to like defending ourselves or like interacting with people online, but a lot of these fans, like, they just don't. They wouldn't have it in them to do that. So if it's canceled, they kind of just have nowhere to go, and they probably wouldn't say anything to anybody.
Well,
So
Chrissy, it might be late,
what's
but
going on is
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was
I just want to know, like, did you go do Casey Ray's yesterday?
I
Or was
did.
that-
Okay, so this
You
was
did?
like a
Yeah.
kind of a controversy where two comedians, I guess, are both owners of this like comedy room out in Jersey, and one of them booked me to do it, and the other co-owner, I heard this clip of them like talking like a lot of shit about me and my fiance and and our family, like his family, going to be my family, like really out of nowhere, like talking a lot of shit. And I was like, wow, this is coming out just a few days before I'm supposed to do your room. And then people were like, oh, well, this is how he is. He jokes around. This is his brand. I'm like, oh, he's not shit talking the other talent on the show. He's not shit talking other talent that's been at the club recently. Like, it seems really just at me. So it's like, it's hard to, the argument of like, oh, well, he just does this. I'm like, no, it seems really specific to me. So I was torn. I was like, yeah, part of me doesn't want to go because I felt like I was doing it as like a kind of a favor to Bob, because normally if it, you do this long enough, you figure out what your time is worth. And, it's 3-hour drive there, 3-hour drive back. And normally I would have said no to what it was, but because I was like, I like Bob, I'm going to do it. And then and I wasn't saying that to big time anybody. I was just saying like I
not at
normally.
all. I like how you responded. You were like, "Do you want me to headline your club or not?"
And he didn't even respond. So
like,
I ended up doing it
that's
because
just
I
his,
was like,
whole stupid game, I guess. But
and yeah, and that's what seems like the real double standards, like, is that this guy Kevin can talk all the shit in the world and it's okay for him, but when I respond to it, that's upsetting to me and I feel disrespected, and it makes me feel like he doesn't I don't feel welcome at the club. Oh well, I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. I should have just, like, I guess, taken the abuse, sucked it up.
no, you should always say it. You're a badass bitch. Always say it. The
But I
only
ended up
reason
just
he's
doing it
even
because
streaming is because you stream and like are successful. That's the only reason. He's like, so he should be a little bit
I
nicer.
ended up doing it because I was like, ultimately, if I don't do it, then like, what if people like come to see me and they're upset? Like, oh, what the fuck happened? Where is she? I also drove out, a couple hours to see her, so I ended up doing it and had a blast, and it was a fun show. And
right. And Bob's a good guy. You gotta go, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of learned
I like
something.
how you responded. I wanted to compliment you on that.
And even like, we have fans, but we also have like kind of haters that will look to clip something and clip it out of context, post it out of context and they want to make everyone involved look bad. Like some people really want me to look bad because they hate me. I feel like there's more of those people than like the other way around. But and then you're like, oh, wow, like these people just want to feel involved and special and feel like they helped create chaos or they helped to burn something down. So it was like a good lesson to me to, I think, ignore these people a little bit harder because it's ultimately their feelings are ultimately irrelevant.
Chrissie, we've created a real monster in this country by elevating celebrity. Our culture just worships celebrities, whether they're athletes or actors. They put them on these pedestals, and everybody, you know what I mean? That everybody desperately wants some kind of recognition. They want to feel important in some way. They want to feel relevant. They want to feel noticed. And you combine that with social media, where people they don't have to do anything. They don't have to create or produce anything. Mm-hmm. They can just start garbage on the internet. And all they care about is, hey, look, everybody, 50 people liked my post. They don't even care that their post ruined somebody's life. All they're interested in is that 50 people liked their post. Because the goal is to get noticed at all costs.
And there's way more accessibility now than there was 10, 20.
Social media has given people the power from thousands of miles away to lob grenades at you. And they don't have to prove anything. They don't have to demonstrate any facts. They don't have to produce any kind of, anything.
Receipts, as we call them. Yeah.
Have you noticed that, like, if you respond to someone in the comments, for example, that's just being an asshole, and sometimes they'll just reply and be like, oh my God, you responded.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. And you're like, oh, is that what we're after here? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And unfortunately, there's some, emotionally troubled and people out there that are mentally and emotionally struggling. And I have sympathy for them, and I'm sure you guys do as well. But that sympathy ends when you start hurting other people. When you start trying to hurt other people because you're not very happy with your life, I kind of feel like that's where the empathy ends. And in their own minds, they want that recognition at all costs. They will do anything to get it. I remember very little from college, but I do remember a psychology class where there was a lecture and the psychology professor was talking about child psychology this day. And he was talking about these experiments and these studies that demonstrated that children would rather have negative attention as opposed to no attention at all.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of adults like that, too.
Exactly. That's Twitter.
Right?
That is Twitter.
Yeah. It still shows you care.
Exactly. Yeah. They will absolutely, they want attention so badly that they'll actually misbehave. They'll do bad things because in their mind, at least their mom or dad's paying attention to them. And, at least they're being noticed. And unfortunately, I think a lot of these people and social media has given them the perfect weapon to, to just get whatever attention, however they possibly can.
Yeah, and right. I think you can see that too, because like if you ever look at the comments, in the same sentiment as the Washington quote, Denzel Washington, they basically are always like anon accounts. Like you don't see other people who are like attractive and successful leaving like random comments that are just straight hateful, like you're ugly, you're annoying, like that type of thing. It's always a random type of account.
Yeah.
Or someone who's not doing well.
I'm pretty new to the streaming game too, and I will say it's been kind of an interesting case study in just human behavior, how parasocial things can be a little bit. So Chrissy and I met for the first time on kind of a chaotic stream, and I made a really bad joke and got called a bad name. And I'll just leave it there. Yeah, I got called a really bad name. But it was kind of interesting, and it was sort of like baby's first drama. You know what I mean? It was the first like drama I had ever been in. And I made the telltale mistake, which everybody after was like, never read the comments. But it was so crazy because I would read the comments and it was like, people would be like, well, did you see she didn't even try to clear up that joke? And it's like, guys, it's not that deep. Or like, she came on that stream to like pick a fight. And I was like, I was there to build an audience and like make jokes. You know what I mean? Like there was nothing. It's
and now
so
that it's
crazy.
been a few weeks after, this is a person that, you know, from what I've heard from people that under different circumstances, we all would have gotten along with, but because he came into the stream drunk and triggered about something somebody said, he kind of went off in a really negative way. Like he went off on the whole, like, if you're over 30, you have no eggs and you're useless and your opinion doesn't matter. Like that kind of like he sounded very like MGTOW, I guess.
Yeah, I think the thing is it was sort of truly the perfect storm where he kind of came in and wanted to kind of be serious and talk about this. But I feel like me and Chrissy were like trying to goof around and like laugh about dating. And it just
because it's a dating
all
stream.
came together.
Like, he got dating advice and he's like, and he'd be like, you're going to be alone forever. I'm like, I'm engaged. And he'd be like, that's not going to last. I'd be like, what are you talking about?
My gosh.
It was wild.
Like, what is this about, dude?
And I have seen streams with him after. I'm like, yeah, I would totally get along with this guy. I think like we just entered the Thunderdome and things got kind of chaotic. But like I said, it was just so interesting to see the comments where like people would say, oh, she like did something that was Mean Girls and stuff. And it was like, it really wasn't that deep. I was just trying to crack jokes, everybody. And then not only that, you're sitting at a table with like 12 people and everyone's talking. And it's like,
yeah, he didn't really have a sense of humor. He took himself too seriously. It was
it was so
he didn't really say you have no eggs, you're useless.
Paraphrase. Yeah. He might have said it, but I mean, regardless.
Well, he's like 65 years old. Like I'm like, you're gonna throw stereotypes at me.
Shut the fuck
I'm like,
up.
I'm not throwing stereotypes at him.
Yeah.
Like, you probably can't get hard without pills, or like you probably can't make your wife come. Like, I'm not throwing stereotypes at him.
And you know what? He'll die off, and then your eggs will probably still be fine. But guess what? It doesn't fucking matter. Like, if that's all a woman's worth is, then what a ridiculous thing to say. That would never offend me. It's just fucking stupid.
It was the comments after were just so. The stream itself, I was over in like a day or so, but the comments were just so crazy what people would interpret from them, or like what they thought was happening in the stream, where it was like, that was so clearly not what I was thinking, but I guess like your perception was that's what it was. And that's something that I always find so interesting about the internet is two people will see the same video and think completely different things, which is like, we're kind of talking about that whole like parasocial world. They'll assume who you are based on 45 minutes of seeing you on a stream or something and not even realize like your whole backstory as everybody has it. So it was just kind of an interesting case study in how the internet works and how people tend to work on these sorts of platforms.
You are so right, Hannah. And you know, it always seems like, at least in my situation, the people that are the loudest, the people that make the most noise have never even met me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's mind-boggling. They don't know me. They've never met me. They have no interaction. They have no actual stories of their own. They read a couple of things on the internet and they've appropriated this topic. And now it's their, you know what I mean? It's their mission, their vision quest to take this horrible person down. I'm like, you don't even know me. And it's astounding. People
which is
that
crazy because
always
it's like
have the least to say.
you meet Vic and you're like, he's the fucking best. Like
He's
so
like the
friendly,
nicest
so
man
open,
ever.
full of light and
Mhm.
love, and like literally like it's just someone who you're around. Like you are lifted like emotionally by being in the same room as him. Like you're like I'm gonna say it like you're like a special person, but when I say that it sounds like you're slow, but you're like you're a real one. This is Farron sent a couple of super chats about this whole stream situation we were talking about. The part that I don't get is I've always been taught don't burn bridges, but people have no problem doing so, but then turn around and are like, wait, why aren't you going to be friends with me? Okay, so like a double standard.
Oh my gosh, can I tell you guys a story?
Yes.
You're gonna love
Please.
this. You're gonna love this story. It plays right into what Farron just wrote. When this garbage happened to me, friends of mine in the voice acting industry that I've been friends with, and I mean, I genuinely thought we were friends. I mean, I'm one of those stupid, naive people who assumes people are your friends unless there's some reason for them not to be. And voice actors and people that I thought were my friends that I'd done hundreds of events with and hung out with and gone to dinner and, you know, had cigars and talk and friends. And I directed them in shows and they directed me in shows. And you know, they would jump on these other bandwagons just because they thought it would benefit them somehow to throw me under the bus and jump on this bandwagon. And then they would 2 years later would write me and like ask for my help with something.
Wow.
The audacity.
And you're like you're like hashtag never forget, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
I love a 9/11 joke.
And I don't you know what? And
Here I go again.
I hope I don't mean to wax religious here, but it's who I am. So I apologize to you guys in advance. My first instinct was no chance, you know, like screw you, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe you would, you know, what is wrong with your brain that you actually would even think that I would do that? And the immediate second thought is, that is not who I want to be. That is not who I believe God wants me to be. That is not the kind of grace and mercy and demonstration of kindness that I think Christ would want. And if I am a Christian, if I claim that name, you know, this is a perfect opportunity for me to demonstrate grace to somebody who has thrown me under the bus.
Wow.
And so I wrote them back and said, I will do that. And I will help. And I made some calls and set some things up for them, because I you know, even though I wanted to be like, yeah, well, where were you when, you know, when this was happening to me? But nobody wins that. You know what I mean? Nothing good ever comes from that.
I feel like you do win, because it's like it makes them feel like more of a piece of shit. It's like, I never burn a bridge. But like eventually, if they're going to be an asshole to you and you're like, whatever, and I'll still be good to you, that like, then it was like, well, I'm the bigger person. So you're the piece of shit and you're always going to be the good guy. You come out like looking good no matter what. So that's how I am. I don't burn bridges. Won't do it.
Exactly. And I think like just being, even though somebody does that, like you said, it's sort of the turn the other cheek type thing. You end up feeling better internally about yourself versus if you went after that like revenge route. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
The person that turns the other cheek always wins in the end, because it's like.
But you feel better about yourself also.
If you run out of cheeks, I mean, like I'll kind of forgive people, but I won't forget. Like, I think when people show me who they are, I kind of quietly put them in another category. Like I will still be polite, cordial, professional, but it's like I kind of put them in this category. Well, okay, if I'm in a position to give out like opportunities or bring people into a project or really like help them in some way, like they've taken themselves out of that group. Like I'll still be nice to them, but it's like they're now out of the running for somebody that I would try to help in the future.
Right.
How do you stop people from taking advantage though? If you like what's your discernment in who deserves to be treated with grace versus someone's just going to keep taking advantage of you?
I
Well, I
kind of
think you can tell like the motives, you know, like if you, you know, catch somebody like really talking shit, or I mean, like with a troll, it's pretty easy. But if it's someone who you thought was a friend, who, like, for me, it's like when I started becoming more like politically activated, or like, you know, I went to Compound Media, I went to January 6th, I voted for Trump. Like through each stage of these things, I saw like people in my life kind of like talk shit or like stop responding to me. It's like, okay, that's easy. They kind of take themselves out of your life that
Now
way.
that you say that, you're right, because you must have dealt with like a bunch of stuff. Like, how are these people that I thought were my friends looking at me because of just my views or whatever?
And like, it's not,
And,
I
you
mean,
know.
I could have kept a list. I mean, there were so many people who talked so much shit throughout all those things. And it's like, I kind of just, it's more like you forget about who you assume, like everyone kind of sucks except for your core group. I don't know. I don't want to be cynical either.
That's why they're your core group, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just focus on like your people, really.
Yeah, and you know, like you said, Chrissy, you said early on in the show, encouraging people to, you know, to write and request you for you to come and do events and venues and stuff, and I always try to encourage the fans that write me to do the same thing, and I always try to encourage them write, you know, definitely write these conventions and text these stores and everything, but be polite. Be kind, be positive, be courteous. Don't you know, don't be a jerk like the people on the other side, you know, the haters are. Don't be rude and cruel and threatening and bullying. Just be kind and leave the rest to God, you know.
Wait, but what about in your case, Vic, with the guy? Like, how did you make the judgment call to help him rather than, oh, he's taking advantage of me?
I feel like we have been given a degree of reasoning within all of our own minds, right? We have our faculties to reason as best we can, and after that, I, in my opinion, this is just who I am, Britt. You have to leave it in God's hands after that. You know, you do what you can do. You do the best you can do, and you put it out there, and you be like, okay, this is now out of my control. I've done what I can do, and we're just going to let it go. And the way that it's going to go is the way it's ultimately supposed to go. You know.
I think for me, it depends on if they're a good person or not in that current state of when they're asking, because let's say that they did me wrong, right? It was something really egregious. And then they're 2 years later asking for my help with something. It depends on what they need help with and how that relates to us and our relationship. But also, like, if they're a bad person, I help them, it's going to further help them do bad things and do that to other people. Then that's bad karma. I'm not going to help them. So that's kind of how I make the judgment call.
That's a tough call, though. You know, that kind of reminds me of like when you pull up to an intersection and there's somebody in the intersection asking for money, right? And you're thinking, well, if I give them $10, if I give them $10, they're just going to go buy drugs or beer. I don't want to help with that. But my feeling about that is I'm not responsible for what they do. They have their own accountability. If I feel led to give you $20, then once I hand you that $20, I listened to the voice in my heart that spoke to me and told me what I should do in that situation. And once I've given you that $20, it's on you. Whatever you choose to do with it is up to you. But I did the best I could.
Right, because
I can't help but not. I would give my last dollar to anybody. Like if somebody says, if they look at me, I'm like, okay, just take it. Do you want my soul too? You can
I'm here. Take my drugs also.
I've
given
food
out
to
for you.
people. I know a guy. I'll call him. Like, oh my god, what do you need?
Keanu, did you put mirror tinting on the windows of your car so that nobody could see you in there?
Oh,
no, I'm like, here you go. Here, just
you're so
whatever
giving, and like you have such a hippie spirit, though, Keanu.
Yeah.
Like you're like live and let live.
I'm very live and let live.
But that's what keeps you light. Like that's what keeps you like you're not bogged down with a lot of like issues. Like you're just you're very like you have a lightness to you, and that
Yes.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm very live and let live. And I'm like, you know what? If this, for his quality of life, even if this man, and I don't want to like somebody comes up to my window and they look like a heroin addict or something. It's like outside of the, or man or woman, whatever.
I think it'd be good in
like,
the
if-
ideal
if-
world if we lived in high trust society, depending where your area is. In like New York, for example, I would never give a hobo money. There'd be very few instances where I would, because I know that a lot of hobos, like there's a very, very high likelihood that they will be violent. They go harass other people for money. They commit crime. They destroy people's property. And I don't want to help someone do bad things. That's kind of my concern.
Maybe I'm naive, but I'm like, if I were a heroin addict or something, or like if I were on drugs and that was like, I just want them to live their best life. And if that's their last fucking thing that they want to do, I can't, I don't want to stop them.
I've been in a
doing that. I'm
situation
too
where
nice.
I've given money to bums in Vancouver, because that was like a huge thing for that. That's a big city thing, Brittany. So I feel exactly what you're saying. So there's been times where I've given food instead. Like I'll go buy food because they're asking for food. So like they'll have like signs that says like I want food. So I'll go buy food and then give it to them. And then they reject the food.
I was gonna say I saw somebody
that.
get an egg McMuffin thrown at their
I'm a
face doing
vegetarian.
that in
Yes,
New York.
there's been times where the food has got rejected. I have also given
Wow.
bums money in Vancouver where like I gave them a toonie and they're like, only a toonie? Like what, you can't spare a $5? Like, you know, like it's just, it's been like these bums that are like, you can tell they're not really bums, but
These bums have more confidence than me. Like
Yes.
I wouldn't even
Oh my
ask.
God.
I would
Yeah.
be so- And I have a story too. Like maybe this is a New York City thing, but like I remember in Keanu, this happened right outside Compound Media. A girl, I think it was Brittany
of
Brave or something. It was like last
Yeah.
summer or 2 summers ago. She was doing this comedian that we know. She left
Mhm.
my show to do, and she's streaming into another show from her phone. She's standing right outside of this Compound Media, like on the street, whatever.
Yeah.
And we were about to go to the bar across the street. I'm watching this bum, and she's a little thing. She is like maybe
so
90
petite.
pounds she's like 90 pounds.
She can't be
4'11".
5 feet tall.
She's
Yeah, she's
tiny.
4'11".
And I'm
She's
watching
adorable,
this guy
yeah.
kind of like stalk around her, like he's trying to either ask her money or like, I don't know, ask if she's available. Who knows? But he's like really like not he's really like stalking her, harassing her, and he's like not leaving her alone. I go, if I give you this $20, will you fuck off? Like I said, because I wanted her to be able to do her stream and not be bothered. I also didn't want this like little girl, like she's a small woman, to be harassed. I'm like, if I give you this $20, like you promise me you'll fuck off. And he's like, yeah. And he walked down the street. So then we go across the street, we go to Sullivan's, we're kind of sitting outside. We order food. This was maybe half hour later. He comes right up to me and the crew asking for money. I'm like, motherfucker. I'm like, again with you? I was like, we just went through this. And I was so pissed. And that I did have that moment of like, I'm done giving people money. Like,
Yeah.
I gave him more than I normally would have. Like, I went out of my way to just be like, and then he came right back.
Chrissy,
He's like, don't you remember me?
Yeah, or seagulls. Never feed the freaking seagulls. But like that's exactly what it is. It depends on person to person. And then it changed for me again when I moved to Mexico, and you actually see people who are not well off, and you literally, if you give them 5 pesos, it's like you've made their freaking day. Like, that's the thing. Like when you see actual hardship, it's very different than the other kind of people that are like, okay, we're just trying to make an easy dollar kind of thing. But having said all of this, I just wanted to say hello to Vic Mignogna and Hannah. Hello.
Hi, Nina.
Hi. I wanted to tell you that, Vic, I'm actually a fan of yours. I've been a fan of your
Same.
work for a long time.
Oh, Nina,
so I
thank
have to
you.
do my little simping. It's SimpCast. So I really do appreciate all of the work that you've done, Vic. And I honestly wasn't quite aware of what you went through until I kind of found Nick, aka the Nose's channel, and he, really kind of made me aware of what you were going through. Because I kind of knew, because I was in the anime sphere at the time. I kind of knew what was going on, but I was like, "There's no way Vic would do that." It's just those kind of things that you think about. And then when everything kind of came to light, it seems like more that you are a victim of insane people and cancel culture, which needs to fucking just end. Like, and
The Vic and victim. Yeah. He's not a victim. He's like not.
That was
I'm
just
glad
way
you
too
said it,
easy.
'cause-
That was way too easy.
that's hilarious. I don't know why. I just throw them at Chrissy and she
Nina, hey, Nina.
knocks them out of the park.
Thank you,
Vic,
Nina. Thank
you're
you.
welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I just wanted I wanted to tell you this because I know that you get a lot of hate, man. I know because I've seen the comments and I think it's just so unjust. And I wanted to tell you that I appreciate you. And I think that the other thing that really stood out for me, Vic, is one night when you were on Flashcast and I caught that show and you were talking about how you want to do the opposite of everyone that hates you and you want to kind of like embrace that love. And you were just kind of talking about that as well, that Christian side of you wants to do the opposite. And I really appreciate that because I think that we need more of that in the world, is that, you know, just if we can all just stop hating everybody, I think this world would be a better place. If we could just kind of get back to like, you know, just sending out love and good vibes and really just think about the positive things in life, I think this world would be a better place. And I think you do that, Vic. So thank you.
True.
Thank you, Nina. And you know what? You're right. It would be a lot better place. And the sad thing is everybody wants love. Everybody, no matter how old or young, successful, educated, uneducated, man, woman, it doesn't matter. Everybody wants to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
But why don't they just extend love? You know, it's kind of like that, you know, like we talked about early on, Chrissy, why don't you give what you want? Be the person to others.
Damn it. Now I'm inspired.
Do unto others, man. I take those lessons of Christianity, even though I'm not a practicing Christian and I'm not a Christian, but I take all the good lessons every religion has to offer, and do unto others is a big one. And I love Christmas, as you can tell.
Yes, I love your background.
I was gonna say I love it. Yes.
Yes. This is that time of year where we gotta just put that difference aside and come together and you know, do unto others, all the good stuff.
I think too, it's like go ahead, Brittany.
Oh, okay. I think part of it, why it's fallen out of favor, is because a lot of people who were pushing that message of like peace and love died off. Think about it. Like Michael Jackson was a big person on that. His songs are about that. He would donate so much to charity and, you know, he died. He got killed by his doctor. So a lot of that messaging from people in that era has fallen out of favor.
That's true. It's generational.
I think just as a person too, it's always the first knee jerk that you want to do with somebody that has treated you like shit is to be mean back to them. But then long term, that just doesn't really pay off. You actually feel worse. You know what I mean? It's sort of that karma idea. But then you make that extra effort to actually go out of your way and be nice to that person, which is kind of painful initially. But then you walk away and you're like, I'm really glad I handled it like that. But it's just, we're such a like quick moving society now. I feel that the first thing people want it's harder to be nice to someone who's been a dick to you. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I love it. It just makes them feel like that much more of a piece of shit.
Kill them with
It's
kindness.
amazing.
Yeah, I'm
like,
that.
yeah. I have if somebody doesn't like me, I am like genuinely shocked. I'm like, how could you? I am the nicest person. Fucking dick to me. I go like, this must just be a you thing. Like, I'll bullet point it for you. Like, I am this, will rationalize it. We can sit down and talk. I'll give you all the money in my wallet if you want. Like, I don't care. Like, so, and it just makes them angrier. So maybe that's, I can't be bothered with being like mean to people, because all it does is just
I can't be bothered with hating on things, Keanu. I'm just like you. It's like life is too short to just keep hating on everything.
I'm
all
like,
the time.
I'm just living life like it's golden. Like, what are you upset with me about?
You know what? Remember the old adage, misery loves company?
Yes,
for sure.
Hey, Chrissy.
So, you know, if you're unhappy, you want other people to be. You can't stand to see other people happy.
That's also true.
It makes you so angry when you see other people succeeding, and
Oh,
they're
you can't
they're
stand
content
it. Yeah.
with their lives. And the sad thing is that if you pull them down, the only thing that happens is you both end up in the mud.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly. What I found to people is that I'm very triggering because I can't be bothered and
Yeah.
I don't care. It triggers people that I don't care. Like you could be wherever you are, and that makes you upset because you're just not happy with yourself.
Being
I'll always be
untriggerable
nice to
really
ya.
is a strength.
Yeah,
No,
Chrissy,
I
you're
can't
right
be,
about that because I mean, I've tried to work on that all my life, like because you have buttons and when you recognize those buttons and you say, okay, I'm not going to let whatever this is trigger me, and that really helps. So you're right about that.
No,
I
there's
keep
nothing you could say to me that I would be like, I mean,
Yeah.
unless you were, I can't think of one thing that you could say to me that I would be like, oh, well, fuck you. I'm going to get angry. I'm like, it's just whatever.
I mean, there's things that trigger me now, but it's usually like I get triggered a lot about hypocrisy, especially with from people in power. Like today, I got triggered by Mark Cuban because he said a bunch of stuff about like, oh, we need to hold the FDA accountable, and we need to do this, and we need to do that. And I'm like, bro, you're the one that was like freaking literally telling people that I'm gonna fire you if you don't get vaccinated, and you're out here now like just changing your tune like it didn't happen. Like just yesterday, like literally like 2 months ago, you were out here trying to fire everybody, taking people's livelihoods away. And then he deleted the tweet, of course, which is also
well,
fun.
I think people are allowed to change their opinions. I think the difference is it becomes grifting when he didn't even acknowledge what he did and was like, hey, I feel this way now because of this.
Yeah, and then he deleted the tweet, which is, of course,
It
epic.
sometimes makes you wonder, though, what do people actually believe? I mean, did they ever have any foundational belief about anything, or did they just put their finger up and go, "Oh, what's the most popular thing to say today?" And then 3 months from now, it'll be the completely opposite thing, and they don't even seem to have any problem going a full 180. You know what I mean? And now they're espousing a completely opposite view or opinion than they had 5 months ago. Like, did you ever stand for anything? Did you ever believe anything, or do you just look at what's popular?
I think it's also part of human nature a little bit too, that you don't want to go against the grain. There's a psychological study of this where they put like 3 lines and they were like, okay, tell us which is the line that's equal to this line over here. And everybody, like when they were just doing it alone, they were like, oh, it's this particular line. But then they went into a room full of people and everybody, like unbeknownst to them, was actors and were basically like, no, it's this line. And because everybody else was saying it, they just kind of went along with the crowd and were like, so I think it was this interesting psychological study where like people almost don't have their viewpoints. They naturally try to go with the group and don't want to take on that responsibility of going against the grain often. But that was, I mean, that's kind of something that I was thinking as you said that too. I feel like people don't really have viewpoints. They just try to listen to what the zeitgeist is.
Hannah, you're right.
That's
because
their view.
You're right because of the tribal aspect of humanity, because we are tribal in that sense. And we do want to stick to kind of like, each other and what everybody else is doing and stuff like that. I've always been a little different in that sense. I'm always like, oh, okay, everybody's
That's because
doing
Aquarius.
this, baby. Is that what it is?
Yeah, so is Hannah, by the way, Nina. We have 3.
We're the
Wow.
rebels. We're the rebels,
Oh my
baby.
gosh, there are
Yes,
3 Aquarius.
Yeah.
Woo. Nice.
You feel all that energy
Vic, what
right
are
here.
you?
Just all the, oh, right. This one.
I'm a Virgo.
Ooh. Yeah, and
Is-
Keanu and I are
Is that
Scorp.
good? I don't even know.
I have no idea.
I think you can tell Vic's a Virgo because of his fashion sense. It's like how Michael Jackson was a Virgo. It's that same kind of like fashionable
Flair.
energy. Yeah.
What are you, you Brittany?
It's okay. You're a man.
I'm a
Men
woman and I don't
get
understand
jealous.
it. I try to, but I have no idea what you guys are talking about half the
So
time.
Aquarius of you. Not care.
It's just like water.
And you think about it, like
Yes.
you have to remember with haters, like they don't know you, right? So they're not informed, but they're putting whatever their stuff is. Like you're triggering something in them, right? Like I notice the people that I trigger are people who are not working very hard, or they wish they were old. They like to think that they're funny. They never went for it, or they think that they could be comedians, or they've been doing it longer and think that they should be where I am. It's always something like I've triggered in them. It's like you're triggering like what is strong in you, and you kind of trigger that which is weak with others. And we all have our strengths and weaknesses, but when you remember, like, it's not actually about you, like you're just holding up the mirror and they're like, because it's, you know what I mean? Like you've brought that out of them. And when you remember, it's like, it's not actually about you, that helps you kind of put some distance between you. Cause like you're getting your feelings right away. Cause maybe it does trigger you back and you're like, hey, wait a minute. Like, but you remember like, no, they're saying this because they're dealing with something within themselves. That's not about you. It's about them. But if you can remember that like in the moment and
that they're projecting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah. Seems
like they're like, why am I not there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's jealousy. I feel like we're so philosophical tonight, but I feel like the only person you really should compete with is yourself, because otherwise you'll just absolutely lose your mind, because there's always going to be someone who's smarter, who's prettier, who's funnier, who's this, who's that. And it's like, the more you just try to find that competition, like I used to be that way too. And then one day I just realized like, I just have to work on making myself better every day and be happy when people succeed. And like my quality of life greatly increased by doing that.
Yeah, that, and also telling yourself that not everyone's going to like you. At least that's my thing.
Right.
Like I have to tell myself like, okay, you know what? Like some people just not going to like you, no matter how nice you think you are, no matter how cute you think you are, whatever it is, like somebody's just not going to vibe with whatever is about you. That's has nothing to do with you. It's, as Keanu was saying, it's like, it's a them problem. It's like, it is what it is. Something, maybe somebody doesn't like curly hair or something. Somebody
maybe you remind them of an ex. Maybe
I
like,
was just
I
gonna
know,
say,
right? In my dad class, because I know I remind him of my mother. So it's like, you know, you either
it's things like that.
You know, you're like, I'm not gonna get in there and fix that. Like, I'm just gonna move on with my life. And but especially when it comes to haters, it's like, don't exhaust yourself in trying to win everyone over, because these people are not people that were gonna buy tickets to see you or come to a show or like support you in any way. So it's like you're just wasting your time.
Yep.
Exactly.
I think if everyone likes you, you're doing something wrong. If bad people like you, you're doing something wrong. Think about it.
That's also
why would
true.
predators like you? They shouldn't like you.
If you're too tepid, you have to risk not being liked.
I mean, that's what that's that celebrity culture, right? Like that's something like Vic was talking about earlier about, like, do you even have a personality? It's like they just want to be liked so bad, so they'll say whatever it is that will make people like them, like no matter what it is.
Got a lot of simps in the chat. A lot of Vic simps tonight.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well,
I saw people say that you look like Homelander kind of, and I'm like, oh my god, he kind of does.
You get that a lot, Vic?
You know what? I get that a lot, and I almost got a Homelander costume for Halloween.
Oh my god, that would have been so good.
You should do that next year.
But I ran out of time, and so maybe next year.
Okay.
Do you cosplay a lot?
Except he's such a jerk.
But he's so good at that part, though.
He's like, he's a handsome
Look
jerk.
at that smile. He's like, it's like a fake smile. He's like,
yeah. Well, he's supposed to just be like the all-American boy.
Good character, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I still haven't seen the show.
You have to watch this show.
And he has like mommy issues too. It's like he's a very interesting character.
Yes. Yeah. Every character on that show, it's like nobody is inherently good on that show, which just makes it so interesting. Everyone's kind of an asshole in their own way. You know what I mean?
I'm kind of like just scarred by like Game of Thrones. So now I have to wait until something ends before I can watch it and be like, okay, at least it has a good ending, or it has an ending. As you know, it's a lot of animes, Vic, that just end up not having an ending. And you're like, what the fuck? They just stop. And I'm like, stop. Like, what is this?
Do you know, hey, Nina, do you know what a Japanese anime director told me one time?
What?
I was at an event. I can still remember, it was in Baltimore. It's Otakon, big anime convention in Baltimore. And they had Japanese guests and American guests. and I was having dinner or whatever with some of the other Japanese guests, and this came up, and we were talking about why do you not end shows? Why you get people so involved and so so invested in the characters and they care so much about what's going on, and then it just stops.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And there's never any resolution. And I'll never forget what he told me.
What did he say?
It's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
No, they said that.
It's not an excuse.
I don't buy it.
I'm just, I'm just like, huh? Okay. All right. Now I feel really shallow.
No, I want my ending. No.
Yeah.
I want my ending.
Wrap this baby up,
For the Vatican.
Needs closure.
Totally. Like the perfect example of the anime that I'm talking about is like 12 Kingdoms. I don't know if you've ever seen that, Vic, but
I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it.
That was a great one. That was like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Nothing. And then it's same thing with Claymore. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Claymore.
Done.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what the hell? Like, it's
that
over.
One well. Full Metal was like that. The first Full Metal Alchemist, I remember being in the studio and suddenly it was over.
Yep.
And I was like, wait, what? It can't be over. It can't be over. There's so many loose ends. You're like, nope, that's it. And I came out of the booth and I was so sad that it was done. And then they came out with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And at least it followed the manga, and the manga actually had an ending.
Yep.
And that was my favorite part of Brotherhood was that it had an ending.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the original too, right? It's because the manga had stopped and they couldn't carry on with the show, and then they kind of like did their own movie, which I have a love for, Vic. I have a love for the original and the movie. I thought that
me too.
They did something special. Is it your favorite?
Oh yeah, every time I do an event, somebody somewhere asks me, which Full Metal is your favorite, the original or Brotherhood? And 80% of the people that I ask that to say Brotherhood's their favorite. And I always say, well, I like Brotherhood, obviously, but I have a real special place in my heart for the original.
For the original. Me too. I'm like that too. I mean, I love Brotherhood too because it was like the manga and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Top 5 for me.
I love the first one. And I thought it was really creative that they came out with that movie and they did their own story.
The first movie, yes.
I love that movie. I thought it
based
was great.
in like the history. I love those historically based things in like the 30s.
It's so good. It's so
Have you
good.
guys- Speaking of Game of Thrones and stuff, have you guys been watching Yellowstone at all?
No, but I want
That's
to.
next. That's my next one.
Good.
Anna,
I've heard it's good. I want to watch
Brittany,
that.
Chrissie, Nina.
What is it?
So good.
What is it?
Is it about the national park?
It's a western. It's a western.
Well,
with
it basically, this is the one with Kevin Costner. And several and others, and he owns a big, huge ranch, and he's a big, influential rancher in Montana. And it's just the characters are really, really rich.
If there's hot guys in cowboy hats, I'm sold.
Well, I know Anna really loves Kevin Costner. Are you into Kevin Costner as well, Chrissie Mayr? Because he's in it.
I'm not into him. I could be into him.
Okay, well,
There's a
you
fair
got
argument.
Kevin. And then I think this Luke Grimes guy looks pretty good. He's in it.
Yeah, the characters are really, really great. In fact, they made another show called 1880. It was a prequel. It was basically the Dutton family, which Kevin Costner is kind of the patriarch of the family, and it's about the settlers that went west and settled Montana. What was that? 1883. Yes. Thank you. Yes, and it was really great, really great.
Cool. Yeah, a lot of people have told me to check out Yellowstone. So
and
I'm
apparently
going to.
Costner loved it so much that I saw some advertisement for some special documentary that Costner's hosting on Fox Nation about tracing the original path that the settlers went on. He's become so personally fascinated with the story and the history that he hosts this show about the original Yellowstone and the settlers that moved west into Montana. It's really
I'll
cool.
have to check
Really
that
cool.
out.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
From Front Porch Conservative. What's up, Porch? Watching Vic's video reminds me of something Gary from Nerdrotic has said. The things we don't like in our culture will change when we speak out. That can take all kinds of forms. Let us live without fear.
Amen.
Great super chat.
Conservative.
Amen. Gary also told me something that's very wise that I remember. Like, you're going the right. He compares life to a video game. Like, you're going the right way when you're having to encounter and fight like bigger and bigger like bosses. I guess I think I'm saying it wrong, but like that's how you know.
That sounds right. That
I was
sounds
like,
about right.
ooh, that's good.
Oh, Gary's such a wizard. He's got all these
He's
little.
wise. He's a wise wizard, man.
He is.
Yeah.
This is from before Farron. The funniest part was that's all he offers on every stream when he. Oh, this is about Bronca. When he tried to do it to Megan Fox, she completely ignored him, and you watched him huff and puff because she didn't give a fuck. Okay, yeah. So he just wanted that negative attention. From Bruce, Vic, with all the terrible adaptations and updates we've seen in movies and TV recently, how much is it due to ineptitude versus malfeasance? There are some projects that seem too bad to be accidental.
Wow. There are probably so many answers to this, Bruce. I think one thing that I believe anyway, personally, is that the entertainment industry has grown so lazy. They're like, how little do we have to put into something to make a lot of money? Like minimum effort. Like we could make this, we can spend this much and we can make this much. And like, they're not even talking about the quality of the project or the quality of the story or how it can move people or change people or inspire people. It literally becomes just like a numbers game. I mean, that's the only explanation for why you have like remakes over and over again and movies that didn't even do well the first time get sequels. It's like, I think it just comes down to a bunch of lawyers that are running studios and they're doing an item line and like, it'll cost us 10 million to make it and we'll make 28 million. Let's do it.
How do you feel about CG in anime then? Because I feel like it's that same sentiment where they're just too lazy to draw it out and make it pretty. So
I hate it.
Like,
I miss animation so much.
Yeah, I hate CG.
What are some of your favorites, Hannah?
So I haven't watched anime, but you guys are making me really. Full Metal Alchemist is on my to watch list, as is Cowboy Bebop. But I'm thinking especially of like Disney animated movies back in the day versus Pixar. I just can't get into Pixar. It just feels so low energy to me versus like the animation where there's different art styles that you see. Like, it was always kind of exciting to me to see all the different types of styles that take place, like Little Mermaid versus Lion King. There's different colors, and I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just generationally. It's
a lost art.
I feel like it doesn't hit me the same as a classic animated film did. But I do have a lot of anime on my to watch list, so I will watch some things with you as well.
I would like to respectfully request that you move Full Metal Alchemist to the top of your list.
Okay. I'm putting it down right now in my list.
It's really good.
I have like a list.
So good.
Do you know what? I heard a very interesting history of anime story. I don't know if it's true or not, but you saying what you just said, Hannah, about Disney and classic Disney. I heard a story. I don't know if it's true or not. It may very well be, but that after World War II, when Japan had been defeated and decimated by the bombs and the war, they sent artists and animators to America to study animation and learn about animation techniques, because Walt Disney had kind of become the name in animation. And they went home saying, we don't have the money to do something like that. We can't afford that kind of elaborate spectacle of animation. And so what they decided was to focus more on story and developing deeper, more compelling stories and characters, because they couldn't afford to put the money into the animation. That's why anime has a certain look. That's why it's not full frame rate. That's why they reuse. That's why personal freeze, like the character will freeze because they couldn't afford.
They couldn't afford it.
A few minutes. But it's really amazing how it's
so
come
much
full
sense.
circle now. And so many animation companies in Western production now are trying to imitate the anime style. And traditionally, the anime people that came over to study Western animation, they took home what they could learn from it and developed it and embellished it and made it their own. And it's really interesting how it's come full circle now.
That is, and funnily enough, too, I feel The Lion King, which I don't know if you can tell by my hair, was my favorite Disney movie growing up. But that was stolen, I think, from an anime called Kimba the White Lion.
Oh my gosh, yes!
Yeah.
Kimba! I watched that show when I was a little boy. Yes!
Yeah, apparently the whole plot was stolen from Kimba.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically the whole plot is Hamlet, but I mean,
yeah, but it's mostly Kimba.
But yes,
supposedly.
Kimba's it is Kimba.
And isn't it ironic? What are the odds that Kimba just happens to rhyme with Simba?
Yeah, who would have thought? Yeah.
What a
But I
coincidence.
found that out recently. I love finding all those like darkness Disney conspiracy theories and stuff. There's so many good ones.
There's a lot.
So many.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
What a wonderful phrase.
Yeah. I actually heard one crazy about I think it's any Disney park, you can't die on the park. They declare you legally dead when you leave the park. Because
Yes,
they don't
I've heard
want
that.
anybody
Mhm.
dying
No
in the
deaths.
park. Yeah.
That's why there's no
Just
deaths,
no
like ever
deaths.
reported.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of weird Disney things.
That is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Disney a bunch of groomers, anyways.
Yeah. Here's
How
a
can
question.
we legally do that? Like, how much did they pay to make to just bend laws like that? Like, what if it were my house and I'm like, actually, you can't pronounce anyone dead here? Like, they would be like, fuck off. Like, how
Yeah.
do they get that leeway?
Disney has a lot of money.
It's
Money
kind
talks.
of like they're kind of like, from what I understand, in a weird way, they're kind of counted as their own kind of not country, but they're like a kind of university. They're like a university status. Like they have their own status and they can make their own laws. That's why they have Disneyland jail. Like they can jail people. It's like a whole thing.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Walt Disney suddenly was alive now and was able to come back and see what, you know what I mean? What
If he
direction-
unfroze himself.
That's hilarious.
They brought him
I
out of
think
cryo,
Yeah.
he would hate what's happened to
I
Disney
think
now.
so too. I think
He would
I
hate it.
would be aghast at what has become of his dreams.
Yeah, he's rolling in his grave, man. First of all, the art has been completely lost. I mean, there is no art. And Keanu just came back like a boss.
Wow.
Like, what is going
Yeah.
on? with that?
Wow. Oops.
Whoa.
Was
she
it
left.
wild? I'm sorry, guys.
Wow, and
I
it's
don't know
She
what
went and
happened.
killed a leopard.
Whoa. Back
And
with
she
the
looks like the
My
hottest
God.
mob wife
Cruella
ever.
DeVille vibes.
Oh,
She just
Mob
came back.
Wives? I forgot about Mob
It's
Wives.
a Kendall and Kylie coat. I was.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yo, I mean, we were talking about Lion King, and she's like, I have a lion wrapped around me right now.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
killed Kimba. He's now on
He's
my.
the serious
I was
Kimba.
gonna say I call this coat Mufasa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cougar vibes.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
From Fair and Vic, so sorry all that happened to you, but the more disgusting part is how people would throw you under the bus, but then when you're doing well, act like you're BFF. It's so sad and pathetic. Oh, that's like what you were saying before about the person asking for
Thank
a
you,
favor.
Farron. I really appreciate you saying that. You really learn, if there's a bright side to any of it, you really learn who the good people in your life are. And I will say also, I'd like to say I was very pleasantly surprised that some people who were just kind of peripheral acquaintances came out of the woodwork to express support. And they ended up being, so much stronger and kinder and supportive and encouraging than I would have imagined, because I didn't really, think we were that close. They were just kind of acquaintances.
Yeah.
But
That's great to hear.
It is discouraging when people that you've spent years being friends with. I mean, some of the very people that leveled some of these stories, you could go online and find hundreds of videos of us together at conventions, and they're all laughing and smiles and hugs and kissy faces. And I'm thinking to myself, how could you ever bring yourself to do this to somebody who's, I don't think I'll ever.
That also
wrap it
reminds
in.
me of Michael Jackson. Think about it. Remember when, he gives these people all this charitable stuff, invites them to his house, and then they start making accusations that he's a predator. And then they basically admitted that it wasn't true. One of the cases got dropped. And another one, it was pretty obvious. They were trying to fleece him for money. And it's that same energy. It's like when somebody's a light, it attracts a lot of darkness, right? Kind of like a moth to a light.
Yeah.
So they try to take advantage.
Do you think though that like any of those accusations like weren't true? I'm just like asking.
I don't think they were true. I've done some research, and my mom was a huge Michael Jackson fan, so I know like every single thing about him. But just from like being around her, but I don't think that it's true. Razor Fist did a lot of good content on it going into it. If you want to watch it, but yeah, it seems.
I don't think it's true either.
Yeah,
it seems like just because he's a little bit like different that it's a good target.
He was clearly an eccentric individual.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I'll play devil's advocate.
But being eccentric is not a bad thing.
I don't think I don't think he was a bad person, but he was clearly fucked up by his parents.
Making Neverland was probably
Sure.
probably didn't help.
That fucked him up 100%. His dad abused him extensively to the point where that's why Michael started bleaching his skin. Sure, he has vitiligo, but he said one of the motivations for getting plastic surgery, for example, was to not look like his father.
I don't know. And like one of my ex-boyfriends who was also a lunatic was completely so obsessed with him. So I know every single thing about him. And Chrissy, you know.
Oh,
I mean, insanely obsessed to the point of like.
Oh yeah,
and
MJ fans are
Michael
hardcore.
was a bad person. I just don't think we can't unequivocally say that that didn't happen with the kids, right?
But there's no proof it did.
There's no proof.
I was
They
gonna
didn't
say,
but there is proof that the parents of the kids did want to fucking basically trap him
Get
and
money.
get money. So
It is tricky because it's become so much part of like the conversation. Oh, like Michael was a kid diddler. Like it's almost like people repeat it for long enough, and for how many years have we all heard that? It's almost like it becomes part of the consciousness.
And it's
It
not
becomes like,
one
oh,
or
of
the
course
other.
he is. But then you never really think about why. You never break it down.
Well, that's what I do always. See, I am thinking about why. Like you could say for the rest of your Chrissy, you could. She was at the insurrection. Isn't that annoying?
I was there. Yeah, I was there, but I didn't go in.
She was there.
Covering things just like any other news media outlet, right? I'm not saying it's like he was a horrible human being, but I think that he was. I can't. You can't really just.
He
deny
had
the
Neverland
kids.
Ranch, right? Which was like seemed to be a thing that would be geared towards kids. So it's like that's not helping, right? But I am very skeptical about everything.
Is it weird that when it comes to Michael Jackson and people like him, I'm just kind of like, I mean, the man is dead. Can we just move on? Like at this point, it's like he's gone.
Moved on.
Like it's just, I don't know. Like, but people just kind of, not you specifically, Keanu, but like a lot of people are still like, oh, I'm not listening to his music because
he's a legend.
This and that.
Like,
I'm
I
like,
still listen. Oh my
he's
god,
dead,
White Tea,
man.
Pretty
He's
Young
gone.
Thing. I listen to it early. I listen to it often. It's on
I
my
do
little
too.
makeup playlist. I love it. Man in the Mirror. I can't get enough. But I think that maybe we'll never really know. I suppose. I mean, you can't
Probably not.
unequivocally say that he didn't do anything that they're saying, right?
I will say I saw the documentary and I kind of got some very grifty vibes from Wade Robson and some of the other people. They came off very shady.
Is that Brittany's ex-boyfriend? Yeah.
Is it? I don't know.
Is it? Wade Robson is see how much I know too much. Wade Robson is Brittany's ex-boyfriend.
wow.
Not me.
Wow, that's a reveal.
Right. So.
Oh no, Britney Spears.
Britney
you're talking about.
Spears, excuse me.
I thought
Okay, I
oh
was
my god,
like-
I thought you were talking about
I was like,
Venti. I'm
oh
like,
shit.
what?
I know. I was like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't say.
You
but
were
no,
all probably
so-
just like, I just talking about like how many.
I'm like, everyone was like, no, but
Yeah.
I just
All
I watched
eyes,
the-
all
I
eyes
watched-
just went to Brittany.
Yeah, totally. I was like staring at her, like, is she wanting this to be known? Like,
No,
what?
I meant Britney Spears.
This was the
Sorry.
quote. Thank you,
Sorry.
Elfid. If you continue to encounter enemies, it means you're probably going the right way.
Mhm.
From Jeremy. Oh, maybe it was Jeremy who said it.
But yeah, what?
Apache Osama Tezuka, creator of Astro Boy and Kimba, got his style from Donald Duck comics. Also, Kimba and Lion King thing is a myth. Oh,
It just shows you creativity is all based on something else. We just keep imitating each other, I guess. No, one of the interesting facts I heard about Michael Jackson is that he, like way back in the day, this kind of shows you he was an eccentric, but maybe over time it made sense. And hopefully Brittany's there to fact check me on this. He bought the digital rights to the Beatles before digital music was even a thing. And people were like,
he's smart
this
like
guy
that.
is crazy. Yeah.
He's a
No, he
major
also owned half
talent.
of Sony, which is why they killed him.
He also bought the rights to the Happy Birthday song.
Smart.
Oh
I
my God,
mean,
that looks
look at it
so
now.
good, Brittany. What do you?
Oh,
Oh, my
Brittany.
God.
Brittany, I'm
That
so
looks
freaking jealous of you
amazing.
right now. It's not even
What are
funny. I'm so
you
freaking
eating?
jealous.
Look at
Pizza
that.
cam.
You are
Oh,
so
That looks
evil.
so
Wow.
good.
I'm so hungry right now.
It's a
Oh my
deep dish
God.
chicken Alfredo pizza with pepperoni.
That looks
That
so
looks
good.
so much
I've
better
never
than the
had a
sad chicken
chicken
I had.
Alfredo pizza.
I almost
It's
don't
really
want to look
good.
at it. I'm like
Is
obsessed.
it?
It tastes like
Damn.
really it tastes like Alfredo sauce. It tastes salty, and then I could do without the chicken on it, but I want it to like pretend it was healthy. So yeah, that's fine. I feel a little skinny.
Eat protein.
I love
It's
Okay,
healthy.
do you pat your pizza down like with a napkin before
No.
you eat it?
I'm a
I
New
squeeze
Yorker.
the
I
oil
would
into my
never.
mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God. I can't stand people who do that. I'm like, you're still
Same.
eating the grease. Like, I don't know why you're doing that. Just
You paid
it's,
for that grease.
it's a
Yeah.
cope.
Get your money's worth.
Wolfenar, gosh, all this talk of anime is making me want to binge all my backlog series. Nina, I believe Claymore manga finished a few years ago or something. I am looking forward to the new Trigun.
Oh, I heard the new Trigun's gonna suck because some stuff about the creator. I think Yellow Flash said something like the creator really likes Marvel and tried to put the Marvel stuff into the new Trigun.
no.
And so I'm
Boo.
like, oh, that sounds awful. Like, I don't know why you would want to do that. But yeah. Eek. Oh, I'm gonna have to look into Claymore manga.
Oh my
Finish
God!
that-
I directed
that
some of
story.
Claymore. I directed some of
Or
Claymore.
their furniture line, Claymore and Flanagan. Have you heard of that? No? Okay.
It's
No.
a Raymore and
But I'm
Laymore and Flanagan.
Chrissy, you need a
Claymore.
soundboard set like when you do
I
that.
do,
You
I
can just click
do.
it. Ba-dum-ts.
I really do need sound effects. So I'm doing it for my
Maybe like
own
Kevin
jokes that I
Samuels.
make.
I know. I just did it with my hands. It didn't even make a noise with my mouth.
You're
I was
right.
like,
That's my goal for 2023. Get a soundboard. Jay, for 5, Disney rushes the guest out of the parks if they can. They let the declaration occur at the ER. Oh, damn. Oh, this is
Ouch.
about
Yeah,
Disney
for the
park.
killing.
out of the
Woof.
What does
Captain
that mean?
Fire for 10. Vic, thank you for visiting us in Omaha. It was a fantastic time with you. Lucky to have lunch just seeing the positive effect you had on strangers and fans alike. I was the guy with the Spock tie.
Oh, thank you for coming. It was a lot of fun. That was a really great time. We all went to Chili's and
Ooh.
took over,
I
like-
love Chili's.
I'm
I
so
love
yeah,
Chili's.
we took over. We put a whole bunch of tables together. There were probably 20 or 25 of us, and that was really nice. Thank you so much, Captain Spire. Appreciate
I
that.
would have thought he would have been the guy with the Star of David, considering his icon photo.
Subverted your
343.
expectations.
Thank you for the 10. Lion King borrowed a little from Kimba, but outside of that, it is literally a copy of the Egyptian story of creation. Osiris dies in a river, Mufasa dies in a river, Horus disappears, Simba does too.
Which
course
is a
he
copy
was.
of
Hamlet.
Jesus, which is a copy of Jesus Christ, which is a copy of Hamlet. It's all a copy of each other. Everything.
Oh my
Actually,
god.
Actually,
It
Health
is.
Nation, Heath Nation. Ahoy, lovely ladies, and Vic the goat himself. It was awesome getting to meet Chrissy and Vic in Orlando. Remember to keep your circles small, everyone. Ooh.
Thank you, Heath Nation. Hey, I'm going to be in Orlando next weekend, Heath Nation.
Wow.
Is it fair to assume that you're in Orlando since you came to the Geeks and Gamers event? I'm going to be doing the Funko. I'm doing Funko PopCon in Orlando next weekend.
No, I'm not doing that. What am I doing next
It is
weekend?
a thing.
Vic, just FYI, I'm in Cancun, Mexico. So if you're ever in my neighborhood,
where you are?
Yeah, I'm in Cancun.
Oh, it's so beautiful there.
Thank you,
I did an event there a
Great.
few years ago. There's a guy that runs an event there. Yeah, Cancun is great. Oh my gosh, I'd love to get back down there.
Yeah, if you're ever down here, give me a message. We'll go out for drinks.
Absolutely.
I should have brought this up earlier from Farron. Thank you for the 10. So Wade Robeson from Finding Neverland was my very first hip hop teacher ever. He was an MJ accuser. We all knew he was full of shit, and my dancer friends and I were completely disgusted.
Wow. Farron, I'm totally bringing this up on one of our topics when you're on my show. That's going to be
Farron,
amazing.
what? I need to see the dance moves you learned from Wade Robeson.
Do we have videos of Farron dancing?
Yeah. I took
Sure,
I took
somewhere.
jazz too. Would you let Michael Jackson babysit your kids? This is the same answer I have. Would I let any random celebrity babysit my kids? No. Like I
No.
wouldn't
Yeah,
let
no.
somebody I didn't know babysit my kids.
Yeah.
Why
This
would I
reminds
let
me
anyone
of that
babysit my-
time when Stardust was talking about, it was like during the Destiny argument, and she was like, yeah, but like defending non-offending pedos,
Oh,
like men
God.
who are attracted to little children. And someone, I think one of the guys who had popped on had asked her, would you let them babysit your kid though? She was like, no.
Yes. No, she
actually
said yes.
no. We caught
Wait,
her.
I think she said
saying
no.
no.
Did she say no?
Am I wrong?
Oh, I thought she said yes. I was like, what?
I think we did catch her saying no.
Damn.
So it was a little bit of an
I have to
inconsistency.
check.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
Discount superhero. Nina asked Vic to come on Infinite Hope. Yeah, Nina does a positive news show.
I do. Vic,
That's
you
very
would be
cute.
Chrissy
Vic
was on
would
it
be
last
great.
week and she was just full of innuendos. It was great. But
You're kidding. That doesn't sound like Chrissy at all.
it was great. But yeah, I do a show on Fridays at 2:45 Eastern, Vic, where I just basically cover good news. I talk about good things.
I love this. I love
Good
this story. This is a
people.
great idea.
All of it, like just good people, cute animals, anything good, nothing bad. Like it's just a little bubble. So
Wow.
yes, you're definitely invited if you want to come on the show.
I would
You're
love
more
that,
than
Nina.
welcome.
Thank you. I would love that.
I
Thank
think you would love it. I think
You know,
you
I
would enjoy it.
want to say something real quick about celebrity. We're just talking about that, but would you let a celebrity babysit your kids and stuff? You know, people seem to operate under the mistaken idea that celebrities are somehow smarter or better or more.
Yep.
You know, more. They're just more because they're celebrities. No, they're idiots, just like us. They're all just trying to find their way. You know what I mean? They're all as lost, as insecure, as uncertain, as arrogant or jealous. I mean, they're no different than anyone else. But again, in our culture, celebrity has the idea of fame has been so deified that a celebrity told me I should use this product. They don't know anything about that product. They're no smarter than you are. You know what I mean? Or a celebrity told me who I should vote for. Why does
Oh my God, that drives me nuts.
an actor, you know what I mean? Why does just because somebody is talented doesn't mean they're smart or they're wise or they have some insight that you don't have. And that's just one of those things about celebrity that people sometimes they don't really think about. Well, why should I give any more credence to what this celebrity says? They don't just because they can throw a football far. You know,
Vic,
really?
are you saying that celebrities are human too?
I am. You know what?
Who
Oh
would've
my God,
thought?
Nina,
Who would've
do you
thought?
remember? Do you remember People Magazine that had that feature.
Yes,
They're just like us.
just like
They're just
you.
like us. And I'm like,
They get their own coffee. They
They're
get their
just
own food.
It's crazy, right?
they're just
Oh
like
my
us.
god.
You're kidding. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Yeah.
Of course they are. Oh,
That's
look, here's
so
Gwyneth Paltrow going to the store. So what?
Celebrities are just like you. They make candles out of their vages.
Oh my
Mm.
god.
They make vag flavored candles just like we do.
I'm like, oh wow, this guy can sing good. That doesn't make him smart.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, this girl's a great actress. Well, that doesn't make her a good person. It just means she's talented.
Yeah. It's true.
Yep. That's
Even
true, no.
this is kind of like adjacent, but not exactly celebrities. But when I was reading the whole like Twitter expose that came out this week with like all the emails, I was
Oh,
like,
spicy.
so all these people are idiots and like couldn't walk back what they initially, right?
Okay, go.
Oh, okay, Chrissy. Oh, Lover's like, peace. But yeah, they basically took like a really hard take on something and then like couldn't or like refused to walk it back. And I was like, oh, so these like supposed tech millionaire geniuses are just as stupid as us.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah, having said all of this, I am I love a little bit of drama. So when I when I see like celebrity gossip, I'm all about the celebrity gossip. Like I will read it. It's I will consume it. I know that sounds really fucking hypocritical, but it's fun.
It's like McDonald's.
It's fun. The other day, John Cusack blocked me because I was like, well, I mean, he was being mean to one of my friends, like online. He called one of my friends Tom a bot. And I was like, actually, no, he's a YouTuber and he's like, part of Midnight's Edge. And he's right about what he's saying. Because all he said was people like you, like celebrities like you, all you do is, lean on that political side. And that's it. Like, that's all you have to offer. And I thought he was right about what he was saying. And he's just like, oh, you're a bot. And I was like, no, he's a YouTuber. And then he went off on this tirade about how YouTubers are a bunch of like this and that and the other. But then like he ended up deleting all of it and he blocked a whole bunch of us. And I was like, why is he like losing his mind? Like all of a sudden John Cusack just went off on Twitter and then deleted all of it. I was like, what the?
I'm sorry for just joining, but I did not see that you were going to say John Cusack.
Yeah, it was so weird. Just so
the
random.
brother of Joan Cusack?
Yes.
Chicago boy.
Yeah, just went off. I was like, what is happening to John Cusack right now? It's like, dude.
It's so funny.
That was crazy.
Sometimes I feel like celebrities like that too, when they start getting very political and very like standing on the podium to tell people how they should think. I feel like that's a person who's just had smoke blown up their ass for so long that they think that everything that they say is like the gospel.
Yes.
And it's just it just gets so tedious.
Yeah,
to
they
listen
get
to those
so
people.
you are so right. They get so bloated with their own sense of self. Oh, the world needs to know what I think about this. No,
Yes.
it really doesn't. And most people don't really care what you think.
No, nobody cares, bud. No.
Yeah. Chances are your IQ is probably like, I don't know, like a 20. I mean, but that's the thing too, right? Like I would much rather have somebody be a really good actor. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like you can't be good at everything. So you're good at acting, but maybe you're not so good at politics.
That's why I like
Just a
actors
thought.
that don't say anything. It's like they just do their job and then they don't really talk about anything
And like
else.
John
I like
Cusack
that.
is accosting you, like thinking like
That's so crazy.
like
It's
what do you
just
think
weird.
Joan says? She like, come on, you better not do that. Like, well, what do you do? Like, are they thinking like, why? What would make him do such a thing? You know?
I don't know. I think maybe he was high, like he feels irrelevant, and then he's just like, I'm gonna pick a fight with a bunch of people online for no reason. Like
All
I
I
have
can
no
tell
idea.
you, all I can tell you, Nina, is that I am canceling my membership to the John Cusack fan club right now.
Me too.
'Cause I will not,
Followed.
I will not tolerate that.
No.
Absolutely not.
You're going down, Cusack.
You sure showed him, Vic.
Right. One less.
Get his
follower.
events canceled too.
Oh my god.
I think the reason that celebrities lean so far to the left, it's because obviously it's the favorable thing to do. And I think that in itself shows that they're not really putting much thought into it. They don't have much to contribute because it's like, oh, that's the default opinion. You're just saying what everyone else is saying.
Oh yeah, yeah, and people that cast them,
they want to stay relevant. Yeah, I don't know.
And people that cast them in shows and run, networks and production companies. You want to ingratiate yourself to those people. One of the reasons that several people jumped on the bandwagon, industry people jumped on the bandwagon against me, is because a couple of the people on the other side of this thing are people that do casting and people that have the power to give actors roles in shows. So they want to ingratiate themselves to those people. And see, here, I'm with you. I'm on your side. Please cast me in your next show.
My
integrity.
Yeah, you're in. Yeah, I mean, you're an actor. That must be the hardest thing ever to do, because you're gonna have to like deal with casting directors, and they won't like. I can't even fucking imagine.
Do you guys think that Twitter contributed to this? Because before celebrities could tweet, couldn't they just shut the fuck up way more? And now everyone has an opinion because of Twitter, for example.
They're implicated in everything.
I'm gonna say, but like in the 70s, who was the guy who had a Native American speak for him on stage? Like there were these
it's
Martin Scorsese?
No.
Is that who it was?
It's
yeah, I know, it's like escaping me. But you know who I'm talking about. Yeah,
I'll tell you.
Marlon Brando. I know
Marlon Brando. Yes.
I
have no idea.
I feel like there have been these grandiose sort of public statements, but I don't know. It's just I always feel like, what's the point? Because at some point, shit's gonna come out about you because you're not a perfect person, and then all that stuff just gets. I don't know.
See, like I love Marlon Brando, and like I love Streetcar Named Desire, and like I thought he was a brilliant actor, and I thought it was absolutely. I wasn't alive at the time, but like when I look back on it, I think it's like, I don't know why he did that, but he had a Native American woman accept his Oscar.
Yeah, it was to raise awareness for.
And that woman was Elizabeth Warren.
AKA Pocahontas.
Yeah.
But no, Brittany, the Critical Drinker had a video about that, and it's a really, really good video. It's called the Death of the Celebrity. And it's exactly what you're talking about. Social media has really kind of made this culture even more crazy, because before we didn't really know what they were thinking. We just saw these actors on screen. We're like, oh, we love these actors. We're gonna go watch these actors. But now we know what they're thinking, and it's like that's kind of destroyed that star power that they used to have. Like for me,
remember how annoyed people would get? Be like, oh, they would start to add a little bit of politics into their acceptance speeches for awards, and people would start to be like, ugh, no thanks. And then social media is that every day.
Exactly. It's like when Chris Pine started to talk, I was like, man, you used to be hot. Like, nah.
Oh, yes.
Like, just can you just be quiet? Like, can you just go back to ripping the tree in half? Like, I don't need to hear what your thoughts are on politics.
Yeah, it just always seems to backfire. It's like, just allow people to have their thoughts. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's so, what am I going to be influenced by an actor and their viewpoints, then go to the polls and make my decision on that? Probably not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot
apparently
of
some
people
people do. Yeah.
I mean, celebrities have truly become like lower level politicians, because regular people, they're more palatable for like regular people. It's easier to be a fan of an entertainer than it is of a politician. Like nerds can kind of be fans. Like someone can be really into Marjorie Taylor Greene, but it's like
I was just gonna say Marjorie Taylor Greene's fan over here.
The more common, like it's that takes more looking into, where it's like, you turn on your radio, oh, it's Lizzo. It's easier to be a fan of Lizzo than it is of
Chrissy, real quick. The entire chat is correcting me. Yes, I did mean Chris Evans. There's way too many damn Chris's, especially in Marvel.
So many Chris's.
I forgot. It was Chris Evans that I was talking about. Captain America. God.
Yeah.
This is relevant. Thanks, Ron Type. Celebrities are demigods until their PR failed to control their social media activities, showing their true colors, as per Raging Golden Eagle. Oh, I'm not familiar with Raging Golden Eagle.
He's on Flashcast.
Okay.
Yeah, comic book guy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Jasper, thank you for the 10. Vic, well-known Comicsgate creators are being refused a purchased presence at MegaCon on the show floor as well as nearby showrooms for meetups. Advice for creators and fans. Cheers, Unbreaded.
Hello, Jasper. Advice.
That's fucking crazy. If that's
I just can't even believe. I can't believe nobody wants to be treated this way. So why do they treat others this way? That we come back to that. Nobody, glass houses. I mean, nobody wants to be treated like this, and yet they treat others this way. I wish I had an answer for you, Jasper. I've heard about this and certainly have been had to deal with my share of it. Unfortunately, just like some of these celebrities, some of the people that run these events, some of these convention companies that run these big Comic-Cons and organizers, it's their little kingdom. And, and they'll often make decisions that reflect their personal opinion about something as opposed to what the 15,000 paying attendees that are coming to their show want. Unfortunately, that's the new reality. And like you said, there were always loud activist actors and performers out there, but they didn't have social media. I mean, like when social media became a thing, it kind of poured gas on it. You know what I mean? It basically gave them a whole big new shiny giant megaphone when all they had to talk through before was a straw or something. And now they have, a giant pipeline.
And even someone like Leo DiCaprio, I've always known him to be very, he's like environmentalist, but it's like he's not on Twitter. He's not like really on social media. So it's like
never
he's
on
not
Twitter.
obnoxious about it.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely always been a green thumb guy. Like he's always been like, I'm going to save the planet.
I won't not go to one of his movies because it's like his online presence is annoying to me. It's like he kind of keeps that separate. Which
I
is smart.
totally
And
agree.
more business owners should have that Michael Jordan sense of it, where it's like what he would say, like what Republicans buy
Don't
sneakers
buy
do.
shoes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe Jasper, I don't know, find a local go get your people and go to like a local, I don't know, restaurant or something, or a Chili's or a Fridays and have your meetup there. Like if you can't do it at the venue, which sucks and seems like the point of it all, just try to find a nearby restaurant.
Now, Chrissy, you brought up Leonardo DiCaprio, and maybe Brittany would hate this about him, but this is something I've always actually appreciated about Leo because
he's a womanizer.
Because he's a womanizer.
I'm the only woman who hates whores. Like
No,
I think
you're the
anyone
only-
who wants a monogamous
I think
relationship
you
hates whores.
specifically would not like a guy that would bounce around so much. That's what I meant. Like I think
I feel like that's normal though. I feel like that's the correct take.
Can you blame him though?
I don't resent that. I'm saying the only reason I don't resent that is because he never got married. So he always knew that he's always going to be going for the younger one. So he never got married. And I think at least he knew himself enough to never get married and cheat on a girl. So he just was like, you know what? I'm just never going to get married.
I mean,
I'll
let's
just keep
see what's
waiting."
happening in 10 years, Nina. You know what I mean? He might suddenly be like, oh, my knees are going. I better settle.
Exactly.
You
And
think
if
so? You
everyone
think that's
starts
gonna
going
happen?
back, he's like, oh, I need to jump
Yeah.
off the carousel now.
Yeah.
You think so?
man.
Okay. I'm going to be interested in that. I'm interested in knowing what's going to happen with that.
I wonder if he'll go kind of the Clooney route because George Clooney was like that for the longest time.
That's
And
true.
and then suddenly one day he just married a girl who was super accomplished and a little older, and that was George Clooney. That was a wrap.
And then that's it. And then I think he's still married to her and they have kids and everything. Yeah.
Leo isn't a womanizer. Those models are Leonizers.
Hey,
Well, they probably know what they're getting themselves into.
So true.
I
Yeah.
don't know for a fact, but it seems like they would. If you looked at his entire history, with the whole he doesn't date women older than 25, he dumps them, with the exception of Bella
Now he's a
Hadid, I believe.
Gigi.
Or Gigi Hadid.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
And
can't.
he
tell
only
the
takes
difference.
his mom to awards and stuff.
Yeah.
He's such
I
a
always
mama's
just
boy.
wonder as the age gap increases with these girls what he talks to them about, because when I talk to now like a 20-year-old, we have nothing in common ever.
Why are you talking to me?
I have nieces and nephews, and I'm just like, I'm really like trying to pull it out of me of like, so what's going on TikTok? You know what I mean?
Get unhinged.
Oh
That's
my God,
me.
Farron.
That's me.
Vic, you think TNG will be discounted from now on? What's TNG?
The next generation.
Oh, duh.
Oh, by the way, I'm a huge Star Trek nerd too, Vic. That's the
Have
other
you
thing
seen
too.
my show?
No, which show is that?
What?
Which one? Which one?
Blasphemy.
Goodbye.
Which one?
Oh, you're
Star
missing
Trek
out, Nina.
Vic has left the building.
No. Okay. Okay.
No, which one?
I've
Which
gathered
one?
my composure.
Oh my God.
Okay, everybody.
Unbelievable, Nina.
StarTrekContinues.com.
StarTrekContinues.com. Wait.
Oh my God, Nina.
How do
you
you not
even
know
know?
this,
You even
How
know,
do I-
Vic?
what?
We have
Don't feel bad, Nina. I didn't know he voiced Edward.
We have over 15 million viewers. We rebuilt the entire
Oh.
soundstage from the original Star Trek series in the 60s, and we finished. Will you do me a favor, Chrissy?
Mm-hmm.
Click the window. There. Yes. Now, scroll down. Keep going. As these are all, we made 11 full-length episodes.
Do you see anyone you recognize, Nina?
That's amazing.
We've got all these guest
So
stars.
cool.
Here. See, there's a little teaser reel right there, Chrissy. Yeah.
Ooh, play it.
This is just a quick little overview of our episodes.
Okay, cool.
Can we do that?
Let's play that. And we will let Keanu back in. Keanu Cruella DeVille. All right, here we go.
So down in the corner, you'll see each of our episodes are represented. So this is the first one.
Oh my God.
Life and peace.
This is so cool.
You expect us to...
That's amazing. I did not know about this.
Please don't send me back there. You have no idea what it's like.
When I'm done with you
God.
and your Starfleet, you'll be lucky to command a gamma
Lou Ferrigno.
Lou Ferrigno was in this. This is amazing.
What the devil's going on, Mrs.
And he
Spock?
was green.
You were temporarily
Yes,
interchanged with counterparts from a parallel universe.
Status report.
The Android vessels have entered orbit, sir. They're charging weapons.
Lock onto their lead ship and fire.
Look at you. Oh my God. This is amazing.
Grant Imahara from
Join me.
Mythbusters.
Together we shall be the architects of our own future.
Or any
Our
Doctor
sister
Who
world
fans
opposes
here?
our desire to join the Federation. They will stop nothing to prevent it.
Target acquired, Captain.
We're losing weapons, Locke.
Captain. Fire phases. Why are you here? What do you want with the captain?
Humans bury feelings of heartbreak and loss. We lock them away.
Episode 5.
What places do you think it is?
Great.
Intelligence.
Wars on overload!
If this procedure is not successful, we'll lose all 3 of you.
The tissue damage is severe. Fire on the ship. We're not. What can you do here?
We're gonna have to amputate below the knee.
Oh no.
Signal all decks. We've been boarded.
Farscape.
Farscape. Oh my God.
Wait, what'd you say, Vic?
Sorry?
Oh, I thought you were commenting on it.
I was just letting you know some of the guest stars. That was Gigi Edgley. This is our 6th episode here.
Whose seat dares to hide?
Whatever these pulses are, it's making it impossible to think clearly. It's getting harder to manage the anger.
You don't belong in that uniform.
So, Commodore, to what do we owe this project?
Aaron Gray from
The
Buck
crew of the
Rogers.
Hood has been lost.
Enterprise, we've got a containment failure. Get us out of here.
Inaccurate. Data in error.
The computer would appear to
Fantastic,
disagree with you, Commander.
I'd prefer not to discuss the matter, sir.
Their Kramer.
Their deflector screens have activated. It's impossible to get a look. We can't bring them back.
Jim, he's you.
That's impossible.
It's Palpatine.
The bridge is empty. It's filled with dead crewmen the last time I was here.
I love this episode.
Are you even
so
a
much.
captain? When you have no crew.
Oh my God, that's you.
One man, two minds.
One of those minds was tampering with the other. Emergency stabilizing, sir. We're experiencing undertow from both singularities.
Captain, the Klingon vessel has just entered the system.
Because your world always looked like this.
It is as it has always been.
Look at me. Look at me. Keep your eyes on me. Doctor,
hold
when you
yourself.
launch that probe, the Hyalini will see in full, revealing color.
Their world is in turmoil. Technological innovation fueled solely by the desire to build more lethal weapons.
Oh my God, this is awesome. Oh my God!
Yeah. Who do you think you are?
Hi, who's that?
John Delancey,
It's Q.
Star Trek Next Generation.
Captain's log supplemental. I've been exhausted.
Chrissy has no idea what we're
I have
talking
no
about.
idea.
Forgive the attack. The drone sensors thought you're another Romulan invader. The biosigns are almost identical.
Surrender is not the Romulan way, Captain.
We can't trust our senses, gentlemen.
When this mission is over, I will miss these times with you.
Aw,
Energize.
romance.
I'm ordering you to sue those Romulans into the zone.
Hold your fire! He's releasing ectoplasma!
Romulan weapon reaching full charge in 3, 2, 1.
Place some maneuvers. Brace for impact.
Amazing! Oh my
So cool.
God!
Wow.
How
I
did
love
I
Jacob.
not know this?
The best part, Nina, is that it's free. It's all free to watch. We created these 11 episodes. For those of you that don't know, and I appreciate. By the way, Chrissy, thank you for showing that.
Oh my God, I hope I don't get copyright struck on it.
Too much time, but for those of you that don't know, the original Star Trek series was canceled abruptly in its third season of television, but it was supposed to be like a 5-year mission. And then the next time you saw Shatner and Nimoy and those original characters was 10 years later in Star Trek The Motion Picture. So there was this huge window where the original series was just canceled, like we talked about with anime, right? Where it just didn't have an ending.
Yeah, no ending.
And then 10 years later, you saw them. And so we rebuilt the entire soundstage and we pick up the series right where the original Star
Left
Trek
off.
canceled.
Oh,
And
the 2
we
years that they were
finished-
supposed to have for the
Exactly.
Yeah,
We
okay.
finished the 5-year mission. We return the Enterprise to Earth. It goes right into dry dock, and we leave everybody right where they were when Star Trek The Motion Picture came out.
Dude, that's amazing, Vic. Dude, like you just gave me a Christmas present, Vic. You just
I'm
gave
so
me a
excited for
Christmas
you to
present.
watch
That's
it. I'm
amazing.
so excited.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Trek. I've been really, really sad recently because I don't watch anything new Trek. Like I
Yeah.
don't like the new stuff at all. So for me, like Trek ended after like what Voyager ended. So like
Yeah.
that's it. That was the end of Trek.
Yeah.
And this is so cool. So thank you. That's awesome.
Okay, I
I'm
can't
gonna
wait.
watch that.
I want you to drop me a note once you've watched them because they're great stories.
I
They're
will.
classic Star Trek stories. The production value is very high.
It
and
is
the-
very high. I was just
Yeah, I was gonna
watching
say
it.
the
I
makeup
was
looks great.
Good.
blown away. I'm
Yeah.
blown away.
Very
That
like
was so
mod
cool.
60s.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is this true? Fun fact: UCLA threw the original soundstage in the trash.
Oh, sure.
I think
Probably.
so. Yeah. And
Yeah, because
also,
back then it wasn't popular. I mean, back then they didn't even, they didn't have the foresight to think, 50 years from now, people may want this stuff.
George Takei will still be fighting with
yeah,
He is on Twitter.
that's why
Yeah.
they're still alive, is so that they can fight each other. But
no, I
also,
swear,
fun
their
fact:
hatred of each other, keeping
the,
them alive.
the mother of Star Trek is Lucille Ball.
Yep.
She's the one who convinced them to renew Star Trek, and TNG was signed up because of her.
Wow.
Lucille Ball was a smart lady.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Vic, what was your favorite scene to film?
Oh my gosh. Well, see, Hannah, this was my baby. Like I created the show. I was the exec producer. I fulfilled my childhood dream of getting to play Captain Kirk.
That's amazing.
I was gonna say it's a nice gig.
Yeah, and I mean, I financed the building of the sets and getting everybody down there to get us started. I wrote several of the episodes. I directed a lot of the episodes, but executive produced everything, and edited all the episodes. Did music for a lot of the episodes. I mean, this is kind of my baby. So it would be hard to pick one. All of the stories are really, really good, compelling, classic Star Trek. I mean, the reason that people still love Star Trek, and Nina knows what I'm talking about, it's because of the storytelling. It's because of the ethical questions and the moral dilemmas and the social issues that they took on in a very creative way.
Yeah.
And I wanted to tell those kind of stories. So we set the bar really high with our script writing. And I can't wait for you to watch, Nina.
I can't wait to watch it. I mean, right now, my favorite Star Trek series is DS9 because that's just my favorite one. And my favorite captain used to be Picard, but now it's Sisko because Picard is now just gone. But you know, like I love Sisko, and I love everything that you just said about Star Trek is right. Like all the issues. That's why it's so weird to me when all these issues came back, because I was like, didn't we all solve these issues through Star Trek? Like, I thought we already were past this. I don't understand why we're caring about people of color again, like on movies and stuff. We've been through all of this, lesbians, gays, everything has been on Star Trek. Like, if you don't know, go back and watch Star Trek and you'll see representation.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean, Roddenberry's grand vision was that sometime in the future, and in Roddenberry's vision, it was the 23rd century, humankind is going to put away their stupid, lame, pathetic differences, and they're going to come together and they're going to reach out into space unified as a human race. And I've done so many interviews where
we're not there yet.
Well, I've done so many interviews, Chrissy, where people say, so do you think the Star Trek future will ever come about? And you know what I say, sadly?
No.
As long as there are selfish, self-indulgent, greedy, self-serving human beings in the world, it won't. Because until people put their own aggrandizement and their own lust for money and power and importance, until they put that aside and just get along with other people who may not even agree with some of the things they believe, then that future is not coming.
Well, also, like, the world is so much more polarized these days than it's ever been, because that's where the money is and all the divisiveness. You know what I mean?
Well, and you never know, because I mean, Star Trek it talked about the future, and right now we're not ready for that, but maybe in the future we will be. And the future that Star Trek told to, even this story of TNG and how they found warp speed and everything like that. It was a nuclear weapon that he turned into the first light speed spaceship. So I mean, you never know what could happen in the future, and I still think that Star Trek has a lot of very interesting things that could happen in our world. I mean, hey man, every day is a new thing, and I feel like at some point we went into clown world dimension, but hey, we could possibly our way back to the mainstream timeline. So it's okay.
Well,
possibly what you're talking about is a very live and let live attitude that we're
I'm trying to be like that, girl.
Absolutely is.
That's how I feel.
And perhaps the pendulum will swing so far to the other side that people will, correct it, that it will be corrected.
Yeah.
One show that I love that's kind of similar, kind of, again, adjacent, but Black Mirror is so good with that.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, right. It's always like a step past reality, but you're like, this could happen tomorrow. And it's so disturbing because of that.
Bryce Dallas Howard in that episode with it was before, it was like
Nosedive. That episode
my
was
God,
crazy.
yeah.
I haven't seen all of Black Mirror.
That one with her, it's Bryce
Okay.
Dallas Howard. It's called Nosedive, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was so. That I was like, that's where we're headed.
Black
And
Mirror was a
literally,
little
it
too
happened,
dark for me.
6 months later.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Keanu
happened
was
in
too
China.
real. So I was like, I don't know if I can watch this. Like, I feel like it's too real. So
it's
I
very
like the
real.
episode, The
It's- I think
Social
that's-
Points. If you guys
Hey,
remember
Hannah.
that one, the one with the
Hey,
social
Hannah.
points.
Yes.
I've seen the
Which one was
seen the
your
ads.
favorite?
Oh man. I loved Nosedive. I feel like that was really cool. This is gonna sound kind of crazy, but I loved you guys are gonna be like, what the hell? But the episode where it was the two guys where they like virtual reality jumped into the two characters, and like one of them was a girl in the video game and they had like a relationship. And it started doing this whole where they were like, are we in love or something? Like, we can't figure out what's happening here. That one screwed with me so much. It was so weird, but so good.
Remind me, it's like, is it in the real world? I guess in reality, is it like a girl and a guy? But no, they had to fulfill their gay fantasies. They had to be in the video game. That's what it is, right?
No, it wasn't even that that was the whole thing. Is they were like, we're not gay, but one of them was it was like a Mortal Kombat game, and they were playing, and one of them played as a girl, and they just started.
But what were they in real life?
And then that was
right.
Two guys. They were two guys, and then they were trying to figure out because they then had this. They had this connection like in the video game world, and they were just trying to figure out: are we in love, like romantically, or are we not?
Watch that one.
Like, it's very. It was so
that already
scary,
kind of
but it was
happens. Like even back in my day when I was a kid, there's IMVU, and I would go on there all the time too, like because I like the aspect of like dressing up my avatar in cute custom clothes. But there would be like cyber sex rooms, and like anyone could like just pop in, and you wouldn't know who's behind the screen, so you could totally be like cybering with a guy and you're a dude, or like a kid with a grown guy, and that happened all the time on IMVU. So that type of thing already happens, where you customize your avatar and it's like you, and then you're like doing sexual things with someone where you have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but like, aren't there like like if y'all play, video games online, aren't there a bunch of dudes that like their character is like a huge boobed woman?
So,
like, fighting?
Oh yeah, all the time.
I was just gonna
stop teacher in Canada.
So I play Final Fantasy 14, which is an online MMORPG. I'm a nerd. And there is like, yeah,
I know what it is, but I don't play it.
So it's Final Fantasy is kind of anime. It's like sort of in that sphere of anime.
Oh yeah, it's JRPG.
But yeah, so there is like, I'm not a part of this. I just read about this, and I'm now like so fascinated watching like YouTube deep dives. There is like a booming prostitution industry on this game. And it's like men will be prostitutes, as they'll have like female avatars. There are women that make like all this money in real life and on the game. And I'm like,
that's wild.
This is so
like
crazy.
You can sell the currency. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
That you can. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and they make like millions in the game. They make not millions in real life, I'm assuming, but I'm sure they make some money on the side too. But it's like the game is so. It's set up in such a way where there's a lot of liberties and stuff that you can do.
It's
and
like the
that's
metaverse.
One of the things. Yeah, it's like sort of this underbelly that's kind of interesting that comes along with it.
Wow.
Well, that's the thing. The metaverse was trying to pretend they were the first ones to do it. This has been a thing for literally 15 years. Like Second Life, IMVU,
I was
Final
just gonna
Fantasy.
say, yeah, when Metaverse came out, I was like, Metaverse is like this. So Second Life, like that's exactly what this is, right?
Yeah.
Screw us.
Metaverse. Vic, saw your interview with Anime Matsuri stream a few years ago. I instantly understood why they didn't like you. You seem to be a very genuinely caring person, and they can't stand that because they are not like that.
Thank you, Xander. Thank you for that, and I really appreciate that. And I saw another comment by somebody named Angelo. I wanted to make sure and thank you for your kind comment, Angelo. Thank you so much.
Oh, so much love. Let me go through a couple more of these. My teacher worked on The Lion King, and he said they had Kimba manga all over the studio.
Kimba, isn't it?
Kimba the White Lion. Oh my gosh.
That's great.
I love it.
Spilling the tea. Nina, the story for ST Online is good to a point. Okay.
Star Trek Online?
Ghost of Speedy, thoughts on the wise words of Andrew Branca? He says all of you will remain single and get only beta men. I mean, luckily I don't care about his opinion, so
wait,
I've been married for 20 years, so
yeah.
What?
I did some of my research about the different types of men. I want a Sigma man. Okay. I want a Sigma man.
Or a Theta.
That's what I'm
I'll
gonna
be
get.
prepared to watch American Psycho 100 times.
Yeah.
What? I don't get
I
that.
just-
What is a Sigma man?
All the Sigma.
It's
It's
a-
it's like the new way
I've
of
gotten it
men
twice
trying to
that I
say
look
that they're
like
not.
Andrew Bateman
It's
for
an
some reason.
It's an
Okay,
alpha.
so literally.
With Sigma.
Okay, so literally Sigma males is like the beta male cope. Yes, Sigma male is a real thing, but all the betas that clearly aren't alphas, they're using it as a way to cope. Be like, yeah, I'm not an alpha, but like I'm a Sigma though, and so the betas kind of cope. I'm not like those other guys, okay? I watched American Psycho. I like Ryan Gosling.
I gotcha.
Kyle.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna get
love that. The man works
Tell-
in finance and kills women. I
No, but did he,
God,
though?
I'm sure dudes love that movie.
That's like
God.
Bronca's favorite movie, probably.
Oh my
Yeah.
God,
So
probably.
send the message over to Bronca that I'm gonna marry a Sigma.
Oh, from the TJ drummer. My issue with Tim, okay, this is Tim Pool, isn't the Yay show. It's the Krigler stuff. My YouTube isn't the place to air dirty laundry for two people on the same side of the culture war. Yet people do it all the freaking time.
Tim's on a side.
I didn't think he was on a side.
He's never
I
on
think
a side.
he's, anyone who's very powerful and influential and rich is going to be a target. My netter. Can we finally let Mel Gibson out of the doghouse?
He's been out of the doghouse for a while.
Listen.
He has a great Christmas movie. It's called Fat Man. Everybody should watch it.
One of his movies is in my top 5 favorite movies. Signs,
Really?
because Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh,
is my
what a
favorite
great-
actor.
That's
I
a
love
great movie.
Signs. I love the movie.
One of
Signs.
the best M. Night movies.
That is the best M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Well, I mean, other
Yeah.
than like Sixth Sense, because the other one, I mean, Sixth Sense. Was
Yeah, I
pretty good,
slept
too.
on that one. I don't know.
Yeah, like
Signs, I just grew up. I don't know.
I liked Unbreakable. I thought Unbreakable was great.
Ooh, yeah.
Is that newer or older? I can't remember.
No, older. That was like
It's older, but then what's the new one with
Glass?
Well, he had he had Split and then Glass. And
Yeah,
Glass
those are
ruined
great.
it.
Glass was kind of the follow-up, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Glass was
Yeah.
the conclusion, and he ruined the movie. I was like, of course you did. It's M. Night Shyamalan. He just freaking.
Wait,
dropped
why
the
did you think
ball.
he ruined it?
The ending was awful, Chrissy. Like, did you see what happened?
I don't remember the ending.
That's the thing with M. Night
Exactly.
Shyamalan. It's
Yeah,
either-
exactly. That's why it was fucking terrible. He fucking drowned, dude. Are you fucking
Spoiler.
kidding me? Like, that's how you're gonna
Oh,
end? Yeah,
no.
spoiler alert.
That's
Spoiler.
what it does. It's either horrible.
After
or-
all that avoiding
Oh
of
my
breaking
god, it
bones.
was so fucking
Damn.
dumb. I was like, this is the stupidest movie I've ever fucking seen. in
Do you
my life.
remember the M. Night Shyamalan movie with Mark Wahlberg in it and Zoe Deschanel? Where
I
there's-
didn't watch it.
Oh,
That was the
oh.
suicide one.
I
right?
have
happening.
watched
Boogie
it
Nights
out
where
of
he's
just
jerking off in the
sheer, like,
mirror.
It's
I
too funny not to watch.
Was that the happening?
Yeah,
What
Vic, I
happened?
think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wrong.
I stopped watching M. Night movies after he butchered Avatar: The Last Airbender. I was like, I'm
Oh,
done.
yeah.
I was like, nope.
Oh yeah,
Never
that
again.
was a big stain on his resume. By the way, I have to hop off. I've been getting a migraine for the past hour and I can't fight it anymore. So I'm gonna hop off. It's been nice
Okay, there
talking
was
to you
one
guys.
Compliment
Yeah.
here about your hair that I
Cold
want to.
washcloth.
Yeah, I'm about to get the heat pad.
Yeah, ice pack for sure.
Yeah.
Your hair is amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
Thank
from
you.
J-Star, Brittany Venti, day one hair looks beautiful.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
Isn't that crazy
I
that he
was
can
like
tell?
rushing, blow drying it.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that. It's just
Wow.
she's like a freaking
Beautiful
doll.
doll. Yeah.
love her.
Yeah.
The doll
Thank you,
girls for
guys.
sure.
Doll
All right, feel better,
girls.
Brittany.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
got better.
I will turn all my lights on.
Venti, where can people follow you?
YouTube, Brittany Venti, TikTok, Brittany Venti, and also my YouTube channel, Saturday Supermodel. And I've been streaming on TikTok. I did my first stream. It was interesting. They have some interesting features on there, by the way.
Would you recommend it?
We'll have to do a TikTok
Yeah,
stream.
yeah, I would actually. I would recommend trying it out. Like they have like an invite guest button, makes it really easy, and then they like you can do a drawing guest game, and it's really funny. It's kind of like charades, and you play with viewers. So I had
that
fun with
sounds
that.
like fun.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right,
Cool.
I'm gonna hop
Yeah.
off, guys. Have a good night.
Love you,
Feel better.
Venti.
Bye,
Bye.
Venti.
Bye.
Oh,
Bye, everyone.
Venti. We love
Hey,
you.
Chrissy, I have to take off too.
Well, there
I
was
was-
Isaac. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you for
From
that.
Isaac. Yo, Vic. Yo, Vic. Glad to see you're getting around to more shows. Keep at it. The fans still love you. Oh, and hi, ladies. Thanks for hosting, Chrissy.
Yeah.
Of course.
Keep making gabagool art. That's looks like a good gig.
Corn Pop. Nina has to bounce. Everyone support Nina's calendar.
Love you guys.
Left. Where
Chrissy,
can people follow you, Nina?
I really appreciate that you were plugging it. I saw earlier. Thank you so much for that. Vic, it was so nice to meet you. Hannah, so nice to meet you. You killed it on that stream. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't worry about it. Keanu, it's always nice to see you.
Nice
and
to
yeah,
see you.
Vic, I'll hit you up about Infinite Hope. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
I would love it. I would love it, Nina. Thank you so much.
You'd be
and
great.
I look forward to hearing what you think of Star Trek Continues.
I'm so excited, man.
Yes.
I'll be watching that very soon. And everybody in the chat, Merry Christmas. Yes, please
Merry
back
Christmas.
my calendar. Check it out, everybody. It's only a couple days left to back it. So please do so that I can cosplay some of my favorite characters for you. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Nina.
Bye,
Nina. All right, Vic, I'm going to make sure I get through all the Vic related questions or comments here. Vic, I really hope you can come to Atlanta again soon.
Otaku Sage, me too. I there are several events that I've done over the years in Atlanta, Dragon Con, of course, and Anime Weekend Atlanta. I would love to get back down there, Otaku. So if I
Okay.
do, I hope you'll come and say hello.
Ooh, from Spawn Freak, thanks for the 10. Hot take, Kanye is an attention hound. Yeah, I agree. He's always been me, pay attention to me. This is just more of that. Vic, loved you as Edward Elric and Captain Kirk in Star Trek Continues.
Thank you, Spawn Freak. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you.
I like that you, with a straight face, will say they're ridiculous.
I like when you said
handles.
otaku, I was like, oh, he must know otaku. Like he's just
That's
like,
why he's so great. He talks to everyone like he's been friends with them for years.
I'm like, he knows Spawn Freak. Like,
Yeah.
Spawn Freak.
Yes, of course,
Yeah.
Spawn Freak. Yes, of course.
We got lunch this week.
What's up, my netter? Lazy people who aren't doing anything get criticized all the time. Also, who were those 10, 12 people doing more than Denzel Washington? Oh. EF, I think we're coming into an end with the activist crazy. New Twitter shows they don't have the support they think, and it won't be as easy to hide things. People seem tired of them and less scared. I am noticing a change, definitely with Twitter.
Yeah. It's less of an echo chamber than it was.
I mean, I think that I think a lot of people are in agreement that like Kanye was kind of suspended for bogus reasons, but Elon has like I think he did that because he's got a lot of people he's got to try to appease right now, and I think he did that maybe for like international reasons. Like I think people in Germany are very sensitive about that kind of stuff, but who knows? Like I think it's a net positive. Like I'd rather have Kanye be banned and have all the Twitter files that are dropping, you know, like I'd rather have that. So
yeah,
I don't know. He's not a perfect person.
I
but
loved
it's better.
Kanye. I mean, I loved his music. I loved him. The Life of Pablo, one of my favorite albums ever. All Falls Down, one of my favorite songs ever. I just think he's not in a good place and he's not acting rationally.
Yeah.
So I think Elon was like, oh, well, you're making me kind of look bad, man.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. Right. Spite of Kanye's Madness, Jesus is King is a great album.
Yeah.
He is very good.
I went to the listening party.
Tortured Artist.
You did?
Oh, was he there?
Yeah, he played the whole album. We heard it before everybody else.
Really? Where was it?
So it was up in the Bronx, and he just tweeted it out. He was going to be somewhere in the Bronx, and then I went, and they put your phone in a bag, and it was free. Kim was there, North was there, and it was
wow.
Yeah, and he just
When was that?
He was like, "So y'all want to hear the
Jesus.
album?" Yeah, but this is before. I don't think I would do that now, but I'm so obsessed with I love the Kardashians too. You know, I just love the culture. I just think he's a little bit he's not having the best time, you know. And I don't blame her for divorcing him. That's
from Ron type. So Vic, if you're still here, what is your stance then on Romans 12:19 about vengeance is mine, I will repay?
Well, Ron type, I think that's true. I believe that's true. That is the direction that I've tried to take, tried my best for the last few years. You know, I could have really chosen a different path. I could have, I've been very blessed with an awful lot of people who appreciate my work. There's a very, very large fan base out there that are very kind and supportive. And, I could have mobilized them. I could have weaponized them and made these people that came after me wish they'd never been born. But I couldn't in good conscience do that because, number one, it would make me no different than the people that attacked me. And number two, I don't believe that's the kind of person God wants me to be. So ultimately, I just have to believe that it's all going to come out in the wash. You make the best choices you can. You never know, right? None of us can see the future. We do the best we can with what we have in front of us. And
and you're too good looking. Like you can't be bothered. Yeah,
you're too hot for that. Love you, Vic. You're one awesome Captain Kirk.
Oh, thank you, Angelo. Thank you.
WWW.
I think that was the one that I mentioned earlier. I saw that pop up earlier. And so thank you for that. Thank you. None of us made any money making Star Trek. We just did it because we loved it. And it's been so gratifying that so many people have embraced it and enjoyed it. It's so funny because so many people in the industry, they do everything for money and they don't even lost. I don't want
the art, the joy of it.
Exactly. They've lost the childlike joy of just creating something for the joy of creating it. They've lost the fact that there are other motivations besides how much money you make. Yeah. I've had so many people. I was living in LA at the time that I produced Star Trek Continues, and I would go in to record anime regularly at 5 or 6, 7 different studios around LA. And I was excited and I would tell people what we were doing and what we were building. And we just released our 4th episode and blah, blah, blah. And so many people would look at me with complete bewilderment in their eyes and go, so how are you making money with this? And I would say, I'm not. And they're like, well, then why do you do it? And I just want to shake them, I'm like, do you remember a time when maybe you were 12 or 15 or even 20 and you did things because you loved it? You did things because they gave you joy. It didn't matter how much money you made or whether or not you were going to be popular. You did it because it gave you joy in your heart.
Yeah.
A lot of people have lost that. If they don't see a dollar centric reason for doing something, then why do it? I don't know, maybe joy. Maybe because it gives you a feeling of accomplishment. I'll sit here right now. I'm sitting in my studio room and I'll sit here and write a song. It's never going to make me a penny.
I love you.
But I'll do it because I want to, because I want to express something,
Yeah, I wonder if their lifestyles have gotten to a point where they can't afford not to do, right? Like they just elevate and their lifestyles have become like so much more expensive that they have to look at every opportunity that way.
It's a
shame.
I feel like I bring this up on every stream, but it's so interesting of like this quote that New York City is a mean city full of nice people and LA is a nice city full of mean people. I feel like that's so true.
I've never heard that, but
like
it's interesting quote. Wow.
Right? And
have I never heard that?
When you hear it, you're like, damn, that's so true. Because it is like New York, like people have short patience. Like if you're an asshole, people are going to be mean to you.
It's cold. It's ugly.
Yeah. But
there's garbage juice.
But people are ultimately going to be nice to you, and it's sort of about like helping the greater good. But LA is just
unless you're getting beat up on the subway. But other than that, yeah.
Well, like the times I've been to LA, the vibes are so weird there. Like there'll be like Black Lives Matter posters, gay rights, all this stuff. Then there's like a homeless person like clearly struggling to live on the street, like right below these signs and stuff. It's just people are so self-absorbed there. I always hate on LA. I feel so bad, but like
that is the perfect word, Hannah. That's the perfect word. And you know what? I was living in Texas and I started dating somebody that lived in LA. I did not want to live in LA. I did not want to be in California. But the long distance thing, after a while, she didn't want to move to Texas because she was trying to make it as a a star in LA. And so I figured I'd take a bullet for the team and move out there for a short while. And I hated every minute of it. And I could not wait. As soon as that relationship ended, my first thought was, why am I still here? I never wanted to be here in the first place.
Wow.
And I bought a house back in Texas, and I couldn't be happier.
How long were you in LA for?
Well, it was supposed to be, like, I thought, well, I had a home in Houston, and I thought I'll rent the house in Houston, maybe a year, maybe 2. After I got out to LA, I started doing more work because I'd already, been in the voice acting industry for 10 years. And so I started getting more work, and that 1 or 2 years became 7. So I lived in LA for 7 years. I lived in these cracker box, little apartments for $3,000 a month. And I thought, I don't want to live like this. I want to live in a nicer place, a friendlier place with nice people, and not that self-absorbed attitude. You can almost feel it in the air, Hannah. You're so right. Oh my goodness. It was just so depressing. And if you're a conservative, and if you're a believer, you keep your head down, and try to do your work and find out who are friends and,
which is not in LA.
Or who you think are friends. Exactly.
Yeah. Right. I wonder where, I think I'd be very uncomfortable. I just can't not be myself. I gotta just I don't know how to not just be who I am. And I take everybody one-on-one. I'm not politically anywhere. I just feel like LA, it scares me as much as I would love to be in the sunshine. I don't know.
I went there once.
Yeah. I need real people.
It was March before the pandemic, and I just was like, ugh. I was in West Hollywood, and I don't know. Yeah, I did not like it. I don't know. I love to shoot in LA.
And everything costs so much to live there, and it's horrible. I mean, this house that I have, I could never in a million years afford a home like this.
Where do you live now? I forget.
Texas.
Dallas. I live in Dallas.
Yeah.
And, but I mean, after you work really hard and you spend years pouring your heart and your energy and your passion and in your sweat into something, you want to enjoy the fruit of your labor.
Yeah. I just wouldn't feel pretty in LA. Actually, that's what I was gonna honestly. I would just feel very ugly. I'd be like it too. LA.
Well,
I would. No, I because that's what it's all about. And I'd be like, oh, come on. I couldn't do it. I don't want to get dressed up to go get a coffee. That's why I like New York. They get good looking to go get a green juice. I'm like, I just want a pack of M&Ms and I want to wear my sweats to the Gustetti's next door. That's it.
Ooh, Ivan, thanks for the fitty. Keanu, I would love to know your opinion. How
of what?
General? I don't know, mysterious.
The opinion
of ... Give him an opinion already.
My opinion. I have to get to know you.
Give your opinion.
I don't
How
know.
are you in bed? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was vague and mysterious.
Yeah.
Hi,
sure. You left on a cliffhanger there.
But
yeah,
your travels, Vic. Be as Christ-like in this dark. Be as Christ-like in this dark world. Be praying for you, and Lord willing, we'll see you again. Be that man of valor. Oh, thanks, Captain.
Thank you. Doing our best. Doing our best. What do they want your opinion on, Keanu?
You want Ivan? Don't just let me know what he
clarify. What do you want her opinion on?
Yeah.
Ivan's drunk.
Just anything.
He accidentally pressed enter.
What exactly?
Vic, you should get Mike Stoklasa from on a Star Trek project if you're still doing that. I don't know who that is.
What is he from? It looks like we omitted what he's from.
Okay, no.
Mike
from
lots of mystery in the chat tonight.
Sometimes it's a first draft that comes through.
Well, the unfortunate reality is that we did finish our series. We made 11 full-length episodes that finished the original series of Star Trek. So we did complete our series, and it's out there, all free of charge. Shameless plug, StarTrekContinues.com. But we did finish it. So I get a lot of people like, hey, I'd love to be in your Star Trek thing. Well, I would love to have you in our Star Trek thing, but it's done. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it happened.
But now you
which
can
is
watch it.
The good part.
Yeah.
Gross Point is a perfect movie. All right, now some of these are going to be out of context. Thank you, Mahendra fan. Albert, I only take advice from voice actors who make Star Trek fan series and assign themselves the lead role of Captain Kirk. That's a genius. That's genius. That's fun.
If you're not the lead
Damn right.
character in your own
I
movie,
guess-
then
I
Yeah.
guess if you build the sets, you're allowed to play Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if
I mean,
you
come
aren't
on.
Beyonce, then like in what's the band, whatever she was in, then
Destiny's
that's not
Child.
right?
Destiny's
Yeah.
Child. Cool
Destiny's
seeing
Child, right?
Brittany
Does
and
anybody
Vic on
ever
the
say their-
same panel. I've always really liked Brittany's voice. Vic, could you hook her up with an anime gig?
Well, now that's a really interesting question, Khalil. As a matter, 88 miles per hour. I just noticed your Marty. You know what? That's a good idea, Khalil, because Britt lives here in Dallas, and I actually am directing a couple of animated series right now. I've been hired to cast and direct a couple of.
Yeah, if you need a bimbo, she's your girl.
Where in Dallas you live in Texas?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like it? My brother and his boyfriend
Love
just
it.
moved. They moved to Austin. They love it.
Yeah,
I guess my brother's boyfriend.
Austin's like an hour and a half away. I love it. I love Texas. I love the common sense. I love
Best.
people. I love the cost of living. I love
Better
everything.
in every way.
What?
It's just better in every way.
It really is.
Every
It
time I
really
go, I'm
is.
like, why don't I live here?
Every
It
place
really
I
is.
go, I'm like, I could live here now.
You know what?
I love everywhere I go.
Well, you know what? When I was in LA, I took every single possible appearance invitation because I didn't want to be there. I was constantly traveling because I didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I was in a relationship I knew I shouldn't have been in. I didn't want to be in that city. I didn't want the relationship to fail, so I kept sticking with it when I knew I should have it should have ended, and so I was constantly traveling because I didn't want to be there. So now I have this wonderful experience that whenever I go anywhere, like last weekend, I did an event. Where was I? I don't even remember, but I couldn't wait to get home. Now, no matter where I go, I just can't wait to get home. It's a nice feeling.
Well, then there you go. So maybe you found your right place.
I think I did.
From Brandon. Hey, Vic, been a fan since the original Full Metal Alchemist days. Look forward to seeing any future projects you are involved in. We'll always
thank
be a
you,
fan.
Brandon. Thank you. Is that you playing the guitar, bro? Are you a musician? My kind of
That's
guy.
me, bro. That's me. Yep. I'm Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon. Yes, there are some new things coming out. I probably would be remiss not to mention that at Anime Matsuri, which is a big anime convention in Houston, 60,000 plus attendees this past year. We announced publicly this past July that we were starting a new dubbing studio.
Ooh.
AM Studios, and we are acquiring licenses to dub anime. And I'm their core casting director, voice director. I'll be playing roles in the shows as well. And so good things are happening. There are still a lot of good people out there. And so Brandon, I hope you'll keep your eyes and ears peeled for more of those projects as they come out.
Ooh. Awesome.
Ooh.
Albert, I wouldn't take Beyonce's advice for cash money. Oh.
Saying if you're not the Beyonce of your life, not that I necessarily, but I don't even, do you know?
Be the Beyonce of your life, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you got to be the Beyonce in the band. You got to be the.
Glad you're still fighting. Keep it up, Obi Frosted.
Right? I don't mean Beyonce necessarily. Okay, for Christ's sake.
This metaphor is
you
out of
gotta be
control.
the John Lennon of your life. All right.
Can I be the John Mayer of my life?
There you go.
He's dead. I
Thank you, Chaos. Thank you, Chaos.
Obi
Okay,
Frost
the
Tips.
reason, you want to know the Obi Frost Tips reference?
Yes.
I did an anime series many, many years ago. And when I first started voice acting, I knew nothing about anything. And you would get called in to play a character and you'd just come in, you'd play that role, but you wouldn't necessarily know anything about the show unless you did all kinds of research and, snooping around the internet. And I didn't know. They'd hire me and say, come in and play this character. He's this kind of a guy. You're in episodes 4, 5, and 9. Go. And I would come and do the role and leave. And one day I found out that one of the shows that I lent my voice to was not my cup of tea, let's say, not necessarily something I felt really great about. And I didn't know at the time. And when I found out, I asked the director if I could use a fake name in the credits. And the director said, sure. What name would you like to use? And I said, this is the worst thing I've ever said. The worst idea I've ever had. I said to the director, oh, I don't care. Just pick something. You make something up. Doesn't matter. And that's what he made up.
Good to see you again, Mr. Obi Frost Tips.
Obi Frost Tips. That's how I was listed in the credits.
Wow.
Awesome. Obi Frost Tips.
Apparently, it's a blonde hair / Star Wars reference. Whatever. I don't.
Obi-Wan Kenobi and also
nice.
Frosted Tips.
Yes.
Could be worse. I'm going to blow through a couple more of these. From Farron, thank you for the 5. Wow, I have piano fingers, animal water sign. So it is correct.
It's not, though, because I'm an air sign, Farron.
Okay. Deranged. Well, according to my hand, I am Earth. Good Earth hands. My
Back to the
netter, we
throwbacks.
need to introduce Libby to Cecil. Oh my God, that's a great idea. Corn Pop, thanks for the super sticker. EHF, Libby is a female Gary. Dan Halen, Chrissy's been to DC before. Something happened though. I can't remember what. Yeah, I can't remember either. Isabella Live, what have I done? Watch clip of Brit. Charles Hurst, thank you so much for the super sticker. Farron, ugh, I'm out of cheeks. That's where I agree with Kanye and the Jews, an eye for an eye. Farron, you should have been on this. Hannah, wellness check on Yuri. If you want to know what a heart of gold Anna has, ask about her handicapped cat she saved.
Hannah, tell us about the handicapped cat you saved.
Let's see if he's back here.
Cat. Get your handy cat out.
Do you see him? He's right there.
Okay.
So that's Yuri. His name is Yuri. He's a Russian blue. He's named after the cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin because Russian cat. I adopted him on the day that Yuri Gagarin went to space. And I was like, okay, this fits. Which apparently all my guy friends are like, that's such a cool name for a cat.
This is number 1.
Oh, South
Married
Park,
with Children was also
you
really
and Gino have that
incredible.
in common. He loves The Simpsons, doesn't he?
The Simpsons, Married with Children, and Breaking Bad, I think.
Yeah, shit. Wait, maybe I would replace BoJack with South Park.
Oh, right, South Park. God
Yeah.
damn.
That's where a lot of my like awful humor I think comes from is South Park and just the horrific shit that they would say.
The Office, 6 Feet Under, and then maybe Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen 6 Feet, but
I'm all over the place. But
Rye Guy, Final Fantasy XIV has one of the best stories I've seen in a game, especially given the current state of woke games and movies. Glad to hear support for it.
I'm telling you guys, like it's a great game. It's very like I said, the people also make the game so interesting because people go on and do crazy shit like prostitute themselves. So
yeah,
worth a shot.
Cool.
You're like, I'd be sure not to do that.
I don't
segment play.
Not that I don't care about video games. I just like
ERP
yes. Chinese. Playing FFXIV now. Segment play just for fashion. ERP.
So ERP is erotic role play, which is like this whole subset of the whole. It's so interesting. It's like this whole culture that's a part of it. But I'm not anywhere near. I know it sounds like I'm like the lady doth protest too much, but I literally just found out about it and I'm like, this is so interesting.
You know way more about it than I do.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's it. We got through them all. Wow.
Sweat.
Guys, this was such a great show because we barely got into any articles. Like I had all these articles pulled up about like Kanye and Elon and Twitter and Balenciaga and Hilaria Baldwin wants Alec Baldwin to get a vasectomy, but he hasn't gotten one yet. But it's almost like what we were talking about was more interesting.
She wants another Baldwinito. Is that what she calls them?
Yeah, she
Oh
just
my
had a
God.
child. They have like 5 kids.
They have 7.
Yeah.
They have 7 kids.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
More than 5. Great. 7.
Yeah.
He's old. He's like
Quiero un bebé más, por favor. I'm from how you say Boston?
Como se dice old cum? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Boy.
Well, I mean, hey, we rambled and it was fun.
It was a fun show.
Fun.
Oh my God, Alec doesn't shoot blanks.
Clearly.
Because he killed someone with a
that's great.
So great. He'll be presenting Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's award this week. If you're on the lookout for him,
Guys, know what time it is. It's time for the SimpCast dance off.
Oh, what is this?
We dance away.
This is how you dance. You dance the blues away.
What do you guys want to drink? I'm going to the bar.
A vodka soda, please. That's what you can have.
I drink. I do have vodka soda with lime. Kiana, what do you drink? A White Claw.
I love a good lime White Claw.
You're such a basic bitch. All right, I'm doing this round, and then I'm gonna see if I can get that guy over there to buy the next round.
I feel like I need to like turn off my lights or something.
Yeah, you have to make them blink if you're able. Keanu, I love your top.
Just do my
get it. I'm gonna throw up. I feel like I'm gonna throw up any minute.
This was fun. I have to text Sandy back now. Dire. This is not dire. It's not.
I hope nobody watching is from the teachers.
Oh,
fair.
I love you. Oh my God, this is so fun. I'm sorry for being the most annoying guest ever.
No, you weren't. This was a memorable episode for many reasons.
My thing just kept cutting out. I'm like, God damn. So annoying.
It's a great episode.
I don't even know what my
episode.
dancing would look like. I have not even been out dancing somewhere in so long. I don't even know.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was just out and saw a dance floor and I was like, what is that thing? I don't even know what to do over there.
I have to dance goofy. I have to be like,
yeah. I've never been the person to like dance, honestly. I've always like a hang out by the bar type person. I'm just all arms and elbows and legs.
Yeah. I'm one or the other. I'm like, I'm too cool, or I'm like there dancing like an idiot. Yeah.
I'm the one buying shots.
Like Chrissie, like that one.
Yeah. You guys are doing that, and I'm over here like, who wants a shot? Anybody want a shot? Anyone? You guys want to do some red?
That's the reason for the dancing is the shot.
I dated a guy who was the ex, and then I found out he was cheating on me. Like,
oh, we're fine.
This thing I'm doing is a Russian tutor.
Like,
people working in the Ukraine. God, he's on his buying us drink.
My favorite drink is a Bullet Rye Manhattan served up.
You're a badass bitch.
Bullet Rye, that's the green bottle, right?
Oh, yep. Yes, ma'am. Manhattan served up. And would I like to know favorite thing?
And would like to know what's your favorite thing to drink? Oh, thing, drink, thought.
I know. I'm like, my favorite
thing, drink, and thought. I love that. That's actually a really great question.
My favorite thing is maybe all my pets, and my favorite thought is I don't have any. I'm a woman.
I need a new song.
Bullet Rye, you're dope.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just like a White Claw whore. And if I'm feeling sassy, like I want to do it.
Keanu, the only reason why you like White Claw, haven't had better versions. Like, you have to get into High Noons, Coolies.
I'm just a creature of habit.
Yeah. But, like, once you have these better,
any of the seltzers, I love the High Noons.
White Claw, you go, this smells like a lime flavored tart. Like, tastes like a live flavor part.
Like I'm talking like a bullet fry Manhattan is like I'm sitting down and having a nice drink. Otherwise, I'm having like a Truly or something like low maintenance if I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be that person getting like the fancy cocktail at the bar.
No.
I have to.
Cosmo's a liability.
I have to text Keanu back because now I'm on my phone and like I've been ignoring him. So.
Tiana's supposed to her boyfriend. Bye.
All right, bye.
Wait, Tiana, where can people follow you?
Oh, only
Boots and pants and boots and pants.
Keanu Thompson, and I post all my comedy shows on Instagram and Twitter. Keanu C. Thompson, and my Facebook has been compromised by these women, so we're working on it. Right.
Subscribe to her OnlyFans. Jerk it to her photos.
Love y'all. Bye.
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 All right. I guess it's just us.
This is how we know we're old. God. What? Hey. Hannah. This was fun. More fun than the other
blast.
Together.
I'd love to come back sometime. I absolutely adore this.
You are the winner of the SimpCast that lasted the longest.
All right, so I get all the Simps then?
Yeah, you get the most Simps.
Oh, amazing.
Where can people follow you?
You can follow me on my YouTube channel. So loud in my ears. I have a YouTube channel where we talk about pop culture, conspiracy theories, and makeup. So if you want some like fun makeup tutorials and stuff, yeah, I'm gonna start doing some makeup streams like probably this week. You can follow me on my Instagram, my TikTok. I like my bio says, come for the makeup, stay for the bad jokes. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Thanks, Sims, for having me.
Thank you for coming and being sensible. Oh, I forgot about this.
What else is there?
What is this?
Oh. I'll be the fish when you be the fish. You be the fish, I'll be the fish.
Okay. Yes, this way, and I'll. Okay, ready? And then I got this.
Oh yeah. And then I got you.
What is that?
This is ridiculous.
Okay. Guys, if you're in New York City, come see me at Mignogna's birthday show on September 29th at the Santa Fe Resort. Then we'll be in Rochester February 3rd and 4th, San Diego February 24th and 25th. But I will be posting more dates. I'm working on more dates right now. And thank you for watching SimpCast. Thank you to Hannah for being the lead Simpstress tonight. She stayed till the end.
Yes.
This was fun. And we'll see you guys next Sunday.